right, folks, here we are. And of course, fuck it, there we go. All cameras. There we go. Like magic. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love when something finally comes together in beautiful madness.
It's just one of those days.
It is. Man, it just, shit happens. Shit happens. I'm not too mad about it. How's everybody feeling?
Tired, hating life, the usual.
Tired and hating life. Okay, all right.
Fantastic.
Nah, doing good. Got my PC together again. I'm all happy. Studio is nice.
Good.
We're good.
Good. Glad to hear it. We have a full house tonight. We've got cameras back on. We have a player that is joining us, which for some reason your camera is all wonky still. I'll fix that.
Just like my personality.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For sure. For sure. So, not everybody was here last week. We had some people that had to cut out. We had people that had some PC issues, and well, the session ended interestingly enough. And I'd kind of like to hear what you guys can recall. What happened last time we played?
Rye walked on a shitload of graves.
He did.
Why is it always got to start with accusing Rye of things? Like,
because he keeps doing stuff.
I'm stating facts.
Yeah.
Rye has done so much good for this group, and I think that gets overlooked by one small, tiny, little thing like walking on graves.
Look, Oz
What
is
has he
with
done?
you, but Maggie's like,
He
what
almost
the fuck,
got the whole
dude?
town cursed by dropping the coffin.
So what you're saying is you're really a good guy, except for the bad stuff.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Thank you, Wyld.
Just so
Now
we're
you
clear.
understand me.
I'm
There
pretty
was
sure
a-
someone detected good and evil, and the truth is already out there.
Yeah.
Keep
Listen,
him out and close to the chest.
there are lots of different ways to play characters. Okay, maybe he's, I don't know. Just leave Rye alone. All right.
So
Well,
we
yeah,
started
yeah.
off picking rooms last week.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
The night before the first time we slept there. So Temerity and Eli are in the maid's quarters, the old servants' quarters. We've got Rye in the study, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oz ended up being not in the study because Rye jacked
Kids' room.
the couch. So the children's room for Oz.
Mhm.
Torvin, I think you still get to make a choice where you're going to be staying, right? Is that
Yeah.
how that works, or
Where would Torvin stay? Would you stay in like inside the servants' quarters? Did you want to stay somewhere like maybe you just want to shack up in the kitchen? I don't really know where Torvin would want to sleep. There's plenty of spots.
Wanted to actually spend some time in the tavern and listen to people and spend some time understanding this space that we're going to be spending in for a month.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
for the
so
evening,
maybe Torvin wasn't there at all then.
I hadn't quite made the decision to put you there, but I put you in the house for the sake of free room and board for the evening, so you could get situated
Okay.
and then make that decision the next day. And we had some things occur that night in the house. What exactly happened? I mean, it happened for different people. What occurred?
I got drunk.
Should I start?
Anybody can take
Yeah, it's
their
all
own
you.
share.
on that
The
one.
early bird should start. So Temerity and our friend Eli
I got
should
drunk
start
and
because they went to bed
passed
first.
Yeah, Temerity got some
Happens.
drink for us, and I posted up with the Scarab book. Oh, I keep forgetting the name of it. It's in the
Necronomicon.
notes here. Manual of the
No.
Order of the Palatine.
Mhm.
And I put that under my pillow to keep it safe.
Yes.
And there it stayed all night, to my knowledge, and is in my backpack the next day. And then we fell asleep before any of the other shenanigans went down.
And there were more. There were more shenanigans.
Yeah, Oz saw some shit.
Yeah, so Rye was up reading books while Oz ate a lot of food and then tucked his pecker into sleep and he was actually going to go talk to Kendra, but then weird stuff happened, so he like snuck up to her room and like put his giant hobgoblin ear up against the door, and he heard her talking to somebody. It sounded like she was praying, but then I heard another voice. And then Oz was curious what the voice was, so he like peeked in the little keyhole and he was like, who be inside there? And there's just shadows. So he was like, all right, we'll look under the door. But then he got too freaked out because he saw like fingers coming out of the door coming towards him. And then he just kind of like booked it towards Rye. And he told Rye about it. And I personally thought Rye was going to like lose his shit and like bust in a door. But no, he kept it cool. He was like, bro, it's just fingers under a door. It's fine.
The thing that
calmed Oz down.
I don't know if it was that casual.
It was pretty cash.
Well, it was casual. In I guess I should mention this because Rye was, poring over some of the books that were left because he didn't get a chance really. He was keeping an eye on Kendra. So in going through it, he saw emblems of things he knew of his hometown. Yeah. And he's very familiar with some aspects of things that are happening. So
where are you from again?
Nidal.
Nidal, yeah.
Yes.
Which is totally not horrible.
It's not at all a horrible place. It's sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, totally.
The thing
it's definitely not an Umbro court.
But there's more to it. In this conversation, Rye and Oz form a secret club.
Yeah.
Handshake included.
Where only the two of them know this information. And they're just like, they made a secret word. What was it? Mums? Mum's the word.
I
think you made a secret word, and I just sort of was like, okay.
You said mum's the word.
All right, fine. Then mum's, then that's it.
So. Ray was like, yeah, okay. Say mum, man. Something weird is happening.
The one other thing with Oz that I noticed too was that the thing that creeped me out the most was when Oz was listening in, there was a scratch right on the other side of the door.
Next to his ear.
Yeah. So it seemed to me that whatever was in there knew that Oz was listening in behind the door.
Oh, probably,
clearly.
yeah.
At least had an idea. Yeah, that's a safe assumption.
That's what freaked me out. So
yeah. It was definitely creepy.
What did you hear? I'm curious.
We all ate breakfast and no one frothed from the mouth. It was fine.
Before we move on to that, what was she saying? You said that you heard her talking, but what was she saying?
She was saying a prayer.
Yeah.
Of some sort. And
she
then,
also said we were strangers living in her house.
Yeah. She didn't really sound like she liked us there, right?
Wasn't comfortable about us being there. And she's kind of like asking.
Let's go to the tavern. Jeez.
She's definitely offered you guys the place to stay, but it's not wrong. You're definitely strangers in her home, or at least in her father's home. So
she was reaching out to any, like, literally any, I think, entity that would like listen to her. And then I think at the end of the conversation that Oz was hearing, it said in time.
Yeah.
In due time.
In time.
Yeah. It seemed like an
but it was
appeal,
in a different voice.
Just out into the world. And then Emperor Palpatine was like, I see an opportunity to create a new Sith. So, I don't know.
It whispered, it's all do it.
Yes. In time.
And we learned more information about like all the different people that were at the funeral, but nothing that like really stood out.
Except for we learned that the quiet girl was
Jaminda,
the apothecary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So works with like alchemy, which
yes.
is maybe somewhere we could get those potions identified that we just found.
True.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
We could talk to her.
Jaminda's apothecary. Thank you so much, Bunny, for the 10 gift subs. That's first lucky roll for the players tonight.
Ooh.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna need that.
So the morning brought breakfast in the frothing.
Yeah, the next morning was pretty ridiculous. I was gonna go get cleaned up. Oz decided to help me by casting a spell on me to get cleaned up instead of going there. But wild magic is still out in the world. So instead of cleaning me or whatever that was going to do, it was
going to make you feel like you were clean.
It was going to make me feel like I was going to be clean, except I would still be nasty and disgusting. So I don't know why Oz was doing that.
Not to everybody else, not to yourself. For sure.
Because it's hilarious.
Well, either way, I basically had a spell where I just frothed it at the mouth for an hour. Okay, so, or at least that's what it was going to be.
It's a part of the cleaning process.
Yeah,
There may
right.
have
Yeah.
been some frothing
Use your
on
own-
someone's booties.
Yeah. Use your own your saliva, to clean yourself. It's like,
Yes.
like a dog, and this is what I deserve for what happened at the beginning of the campaign. So anyway, so I ran to the bathroom. I was trying to figure out what's going on. Temerity came in and tried to help.
Teleported in.
But tried again to cast a spell, which led to another wild magic thing focused at me once again.
Trying to help you.
And she ended up teleporting right on top of Rye in the bathtub, frothing at the mouth. So it changed into a blink spell or a teleport spell, and she ended up in the tub with me.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that did happen.
That was awesome. That was a really cool part of the campaign last time. It was my personal favorite time. And then Temerity kind of tried to find her way out very quickly, because I do believe it was an invasion of privacy. So, Rye appreciates that. And so he just frothed at the mouth for the next 20
But did
minutes.
Rye
and
really
some
want
other
her to
stuff
leave?
happened.
I didn't get the vibe that he was. I think he was like, "You want to shower with me?"
I mean, it's a time and a place. He's frothing. He doesn't have a lot of confidence in that moment. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was an experience. The frothing leading to a small micro portal or teleportation per se. But it moved fairly quickly following that.
Yes.
Everybody was able to get food. And then what happened? Can anybody remember what was next?
We got 3 ribbons as
Yes.
well that we can. Well, Temerity did. That we can break to basically halt if magic seems like it's going wrong, you can pop it to negate it pretty much, but it's a one-time use. We got 3 of those, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Does that work on not wild magic other stuff?
I would assume so.
Okay.
But
Let's see.
probably.
I actually did not add that. What is it called? I didn't add that to my sheet. What is it called?
I had 3 magical mistakes. Pulled the ribbon. That's what I
Yeah.
wrote in my
Right?
notes.
Is there something I should put on my sheet to mark it as something?
Just
specific?
no. I mean, if you want to, you can just say it's 3 anti-magic
Okay.
ribbons or something like that.
I like. What did you call it?
Mystical ribbons.
Mystical ribbons.
You tear the ribbon, and when it undoes, the incense burns, and it will weaken, if not completely deter, the magic that is occurring.
Hello. He said my
And-
mom says I'm a magical mistake.
Oh, God.
And Eli was like, "Don't waste that on Rye."
It's Eli.
Yeah,
Eli did say
Eli
that.
was like, whoa. Let him froth a little bit. It's
Yeah.
only been 5 minutes.
Repent.
That's literally what he said.
Repent.
Perfect.
You're halfway through, buddy. Just ride it out. Just ride it out.
What is it like? The power of froth compels you.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Pecker tried to be comforting to me too. It was very sweet, but
You boot him away.
Well,
no,
he
it wasn't
thought
quite a boot.
It wasn't a boot. I just kind of, snarled at him a little bit with my frothing mouth and maybe snapped my teeth at him.
Yeah, just a little chompy. Just
Yeah.
I have to say, I think Torvin, if he had seen this, would have just gone, yeah, just ride it out. You'll be okay.
I've seen
Yeah,
this happen once before.
I've seen worse.
Yeah.
I was confused and a little embarrassed, but I was, I guess from my perspective is after 20 minutes, when does it end? But Bub was gracious enough to end the frothing.
Yeah, now an
before it
hour
got
of
too out of control.
I didn't want to completely dehydrate you. Okay, I thought that would have been a bit much. So half hour is more than enough to appease the elder dice gods.
Yeah, I'm sure they had fun with that one.
Everybody then agreed that you needed to seek out some progression. You wanted to find out what was happening, it's either in town or with this cache of weapons. You thought that you at least needed to figure that much out, which took you back to the Restlands, the graveyard.
I guess it should be mentioned before we went there that there was an
Beforehand.
interaction with Peverin.
Yes.
Yep.
I guess the easiest way to say is he was saying he was bored. He's this 11-year-old kid. So Rye tried to give him some direction, or at least, something, help him build a skill. And he pulled out his pocket knife and showed him how to kind of flip it into the dirt. Put it on your finger and just kind of flip it. And he was like a natural right off the bat. But I think Eli didn't necessarily appreciate the direction I was putting this young youth.
Well,
He
didn't want it. He turned it down, saying that his dad wouldn't let him have it. Okay. And that wouldn't let him play with things besides butchering tools. Then when you put it back away and turned, he's tried to steal it from you.
He did steal it. Yeah, he did. He did. And I didn't even realize it.
And so I perceptioned it, saw it, and I was like, that's against the law, little buddy. So let's try to flip it and make it from something bad into something good. So instead, I offered him gold for the dagger and for him to write something in the paper for me, because that was his.
That's his job.
Basically a skill he already had. It's his job, and I was going to promote that. And plus, I didn't really want to. I wanted to do it because it was the right thing to do, but with the rest of the group, since I don't trust them as much, I try to use a different argument, which was, hey, if something happens to him, all of our alcohol prices might go up at the tavern. That guy runs the tavern. We don't really piss off the tavern keeper, right? So we probably shouldn't let his kid run around with a knife and trip on it and stab himself in the neck or something.
Yeah.
That'd be bad, probably.
Zokar would wander.
Wait, I did take the dagger back,
you
right?
Did. Yep.
Okay, I did take
it. And then you
back.
intimidated him.
Yeah.
And you were like, don't you fucking steal from me.
Yeah, I'll break your fucking hands or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you gotta set your boundaries.
Rye out there, man. He's really putting in work, threatening to kill the town dogs, single women whose father just died, and now 11-year-olds. He's really nailing it.
But then he's also
he's
picking prime targets, all right?
Why are you guys picking on me? Why am I the first thing that you talk about?
Ryan is trying to give this young man direction, start him on a skill that can help him in his life. All right.
Rye's just being a good godfather.
He was trying. He's kind of known. He's a tough,
He's rough around the edges, man.
But he's he's trying.
Yeah.
Nobody else was walking up and offering any fucking relief from the boredom.
True. You're not wrong. I'm just gonna heckle you because it's fun.
No, I mean I get it.
You were the first one to move in, so.
Yeah, I can't. Whatever.
Oh yeah, and then we jumped in Temerity's cart, and Rye decided he wanted to run.
Yeah.
So
he was in his element, man. That entire experience, he was actually he was forged in the flames of duress. And I think a few of the characters have seen that. But I know Oz specifically has seen some self-inflicted duress, and now, despite taking the easy way out of riding in a wagon and not wearing himself out, he decided to run it. He legged it all the way there. And he got there at about the same time. I'm sure you guys could have pushed the horses and got there faster, but...
Well, we slowed down I was going to mock him, but then he was having so much fun. I think is what it was. We decided, we just kind of rolled in together.
Yes, that is entirely true. And you arrived at the Restlands, the place where, well, many people have been buried, that has been protected by Pharasma, been warded many times over, and... well, that was its whole debacle in and of itself. Where do we start with that? How do we unpack that one?
I mean stepping on the graves?
It's pretty simple. Yep. Listen, there was some smoke.
Uh-huh.
Okay. We got there. We were investigating. Rye smelled the smoke. Okay. Or could see it. One of the two. I perceived it. And so I was just like, all right, we can start there. Nobody else was moving.
Yep.
Everybody was kind of sitting at the crossroads, and he was just like,
assessing,
Yep.
And then he figured it out, and he was like, it's going to be that road over there.
Yes, they were doing the smart thing. Rye was just like,
we had literal directions.
To be fair, though,
but Rye was going.
Oz did agree with Rye that is the fastest route, is to go directly across
I was
the graves.
going where we were going. Yep. I just went the fastest way, which did not necessarily respect the gravy.
The problem with that was everyone that was a local that was there effectively saw this instead. Mysterious man walks up, high stepping, middle finger to the floor, just digging his heels in as deep as he can into the grave dirt. And I'm like, yep, that's kind of what happened.
So you say a problem, but
I
say that it was just a difference of opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't believe the dead give a shit. And so
the living people do.
Well,
And they
I
have
mean, you don't know if
rules and
you don't know if they're
culture.
dead care or not. I mean, you can't see them.
it's
Yeah.
fine. They said
Yeah.
something and I got off. I didn't tarry. I didn't tread on these graves.
It's
And
true.
just because
as
you don't
soon as-
believe in
as
something
soon as you
doesn't mean there's
told
no
him,
consequence.
he got off of it.
This
True.
is true, but if someone wants to impose a consequence, I invite them to try.
You can try.
Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry. I stepped
Throw the
off.
purple book at you, okay?
Yeah.
You keep that fleshy monstrosity away from me.
That was delicious. So
That's not the first time. Never mind. I'm not going to go anywhere with that. We wound up.
He said it. Cobalt
at-
said it was delicious. So.
said it smelled delicious.
Oh, okay.
I haven't
I'm not
tasted
sure
it
how
yet.
if that's better.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have concerns, and I'll ask more later. But for now, let's talk about
It
the
smells
mausoleum,
delicious.
the false crypt. This is about where we saw Rye had to take a leave. Ello had to step away for reasons. But here, you guys found your crypt. At least you thought you did. What was this like? What did this appear to be like?
There was like a group of people watching us from a distance.
Yes.
I thought we were gonna like
Yeah.
throw down with them, but we didn't.
Well, we have
Um,
Temerity with us.
We noticed that the lock had some kind of like acid damage on it, and it had already been unlocked. So we went in, and it was lit with like candles and stuff.
Runes on the floor.
Yeah, and we went in and we were trying to figure out which one was the false crypt. And Oz was like, "That one," and just
There's
tried to open
footprints.
it
There was footprints,
Yeah.
yeah. There was
Dust.
footprints.
because we could see the footprints in the dust.
You had another indicator though as well. Something else that sort of like really stuck out to you about how odd it was for the area. You found that the lock was completely like burned away.
Yeah, I said that it had acid damage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and do you have any idea what that could have been? Was it just like acid, or was that spellcast, or what do you
Could
think?
have been the
here?
professor,
Oz-
but
Thinks it might be the professor because Oz learned that spell from the professor.
That's fair.
I don't know. So someone before us came in here, and we see their footprints. They've clearly unlocked the area, but when we open up the crypt, all the stuff is in there. So
to our knowledge, there
to
could
our
be
knowledge,
stuff
yes.
missing.
Correct. All of your stuff. It was there. What did you find? Can you recall?
yes.
I'd like to know. Let's pretend as if I wasn't there. Like I told you guys exactly
Got
what you found.
4 sun rods.
Mhm.
Temerity took a bunch of the arrows. So there were 12 arrows tipped with silver, something that we don't know. 10
Yes, silver.
arrows with a high quality precision. 5 arrows with arrowhead chameleon, or like the arrowhead looks like a chameleon style. And then there's 2
Green.
arrows that look super sus because they got skulls whittled onto them.
Mine says sus next to the arrows too. notes.
Nice. That's what I wrote. And then we
Same,
have 6
yeah.
flasks with fluid,
Fluid.
super helpful. 5 potion bottles that are red elixirs.
Light
and
red
2 potion
elixir. I don't know
bottles
if that
with
matters.
creamy white elixir. That's
Creamy.
different. So there's 2 that had creamy white elixir. And then 4 scrolls of I don't know
Yeah.
what. And then 1 thin dark wood case with a scarab brass single eye on it with a spirit planchet. And that's what Oz took. And I was thinking we were going to do some Ouija board shit, but instead, motherfucking Ronald showed up.
Yeah, we had the introduction of Tripp. What's
Bye.
what exactly, like if you could recount the tale specifically from your experience, Ronald, what did this look like for Tripp and Peverin even?
So he got possessed, I would say, shortly after the coin got handed over
Mhm.
to him. And at that point, he decided, I'm going to go follow these guys. They seem interesting. With that, kind of kept up with them on their journey all the way to the Restlands. And as he made his way, waited for them to go into the crypt, made his way down and made a very quick introduction to the group.
Yes, and this is where we start our tale this evening. So, allow me just a moment, and I will set your scene.
Would Rye have recognized any of the items?
Potentially. You've had very, very limited time Very limited time to look this over before
Gotcha. Okay.
the weather started to pick up. You didn't even notice that the door had opened back up. It was a fairly heavy stone door as well. So this is something that you guys did not catch, but I'm gonna go ahead and set us back into this.
Sorry, I just had to do a test roll to check something.
I gotcha, no problem.
How dare you? It wasn't a 20, right? You didn't waste that? Okay.
He did not this
Then
time.
you're forgiven.
I don't know. Do we want him rolling 20s?
I want the best for Ronald in whatever he does, okay?
What a
Aw.
hero.
First time anyone said that, and my heart just skipped a beat. I was like,
That's sweet. When he kills me,
yeah.
I'll be so happy.
I'm like, look, when I go on my murder spree, rise last.
You're silly. Here we go.
I mean, that's the best I can hope for.
All right, folks. Our cameras faded last with a flash and flicker of streaking bold light. The thunder followed moments later, shaking the tomb in which you tread. A glint of gold rolling over in between fingers, in the figure of a boy with a new voice and a brief introduction. Pevrin? No. The name's Tripp, love. The floor is open.
Here.
Yeah.
I cast before I cast detect magic, right? Or did I cast detect undead? I don't recall.
I believe you had cast Detect Undead. Believe.
Just tell me it's not pointed at Rye.
Oz just is looking through the planchet, and he's like, "Who are you?" Oh my god, I lost my accent. Southern,
Okay.
Southern.
Yeah.
Who are you? And what'd you do to our friend?
Well, little Pevrin here is, he's sleeping right now. I'm the one that's taking his place. As I said, name's Tripp.
So I'm gonna, just in case I didn't do it last time, detect undead.
Sure.
All right,
And
Tripp.
you succeed. The aura that you can immediately detect, it emanates. It is some sort of necromantic or undeath that resides around Pevrin. It does seem a bit strange. This isn't your first time appearing with undead appearing before you, where it just sort of seeps through them. This seems to be surrounding him, but not entirely. It's almost like it's blanketed, but not seeping into the depths of him.
What does this look like to a character that isn't looking through the...
This looks like an 11-year-old boy speaking with a very different sort of voice.
It looks like Pevrin.
It looks like
And
Pevrin.
he has eyes were glazed over white
Yep.
as well.
He's lost all color pigmentation to his eyes. It's just
So
white.
creepy.
What do you mean he's just sleeping?
Well, as I said, I'm in charge right now. He's got no sense of, well, himself. And he starts like flipping the coin again, and as he looks over the group, when he sees Temerity, you see him like he looks like he starts like scanning everybody, but when he sees her, he flips the coin and then it drops, like he like stops in place and goes,
There's a stutter in his move.
huh. So, I think we got off on the wrong foot here. As I said,
I think you're using someone else's foot. There, I got the accent
yes,
back.
yes. Pharasma, huh? Whew.
You notice anxiety paint over his brow.
Yeah.
He's now like holding his lips like, whoo. Ah.
Yeah, and as that happens, I'm clearly reaching for my crossbow. Like, I don't have it, like, I have it out, but not, like, pointed at him. Like, just like, sup.
All right. Well, looks like. See you later. And then you see his body try to shift, but he just hits the corner of the wall. He just goes, ooh, and he like falls. He's like,
Give me a reflex, please. Roll a reflex for me.
Wait, so he's seeing Temerity and he's like freaking out?
He's freaking out.
Freaking out.
Trying to dip.
He's freaking out.
Item out. Right?
Perfect. Tripp takes a fall. He bounces off the wall and tumbles down 4 steps directly to his ass, no more than probably 8 or so feet in front of you.
So by extension, you're saying that Peverin has fallen.
yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
So the spirit like hits the wall and bounces back in then, or
No, he's pretty much got full control of Peverin at this point.
But he's like, is he like on the ground? Is he like prone?
He fell. Like
Peverin, yeah,
it
Peverin
looks,
he's got like his hands back behind him as he's trying to like push himself up. He's very
Yeah.
bizarre to watch. Peverin before showed a lot of manual dexterity, but not anymore. Now he feels almost clumsy by design.
How far away is this from Rye?
I would say probably about, I don't know, 10 feet or so. Let me take a look.
I move into action, attempt to grapple him while he's on the ground.
Yeah, and I think Oz is just like, now, you ain't going nowhere.
Let
Yeah,
me,
I'll when he gets to the bottom, I'll raise it, but again, it's not really menacing, just in case.
the cameras might be a little wonky, so bear with me here.
Sure.
And I'm going to say that if any harm comes to the boy, then retribution will be swift.
Okay, it's not actually, I
I think there's already been harm done.
There we go. So here you guys go. You guys should be able to see your map. Everybody, with an exception to, I think Torvin at this point. Torvin can't see anything because he's not there. But the rest of you can see. You can see just fine. This is your orientation, your order. And here is Peverin. He is prone on the ground. You said that you wanted to move up and grapple him.
Yes, as in try to restrain him so that, he doesn't take any more damage from the. I mean, he just fell down some stairs, He's an 11-year-old kid. He's possessed. Something's going on. So I'm going to try to move next to him.
Sure.
And just, restrain him, not in any way that would hurt him. I'm not like trying to choke him out or anything. But yeah.
I gotcha. Go for it and give me a CMB versus his CMD.
Sure.
Combat maneuver bonus.
Gotta pull up my character sheet here.
Yep.
My bad.
PMB is under will.
it would technically just be a standard humans, right? Because I'm in Peverin right now.
Yes.
Yeah, so it should be like +1 maybe.
You're not beating it. Rye managed to, with ease, keep you prone, keep you held. Rye, you realize, when you grab hold, despite what people have said in the past regarding some of the strength of a possessed figure, because you have no idea, particularly if he's possessed or not, you know that this is an 11-year-old boy.
Yeah, I think this would be something that I would have maybe seen in my hometown, at least familiar with,
Yeah.
and there are pretty obvious telltale signs, like the eyes,
Yes.
and the erratic body movements, something like that. So, yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
I just try to hold him down.
Rye,
Oz
give
doesn't
me
get closer, but
give me a memory test. Actually, I'd love to see what Rye has here. So, Rye, click on your wisdom, please. I want to see if you can remember things, regarding
Sure.
your time in your home.
Sure.
It's
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Go for it. You got 2 luck rerolls. It's getting worse. Okay, all right. I was looking for a 10. And you managed to top it here. Perfect. So in Nidal, it wasn't uncommon for some of the interned dead to not willingly be around. Some of them were summoned to speak on matters of politics, on finances. Some of them were simply brought back for amusement. Others were defined as soldiers, warriors. And they're first returning to a body, at least from what has been sung around taverns and spoken privately in back alleys. It's never great. It's clumsy. They seem to move like ducklings. There's a bounciness to them. They seem to get back up very, very quickly, but they never quite master what it's like to be in their normal and normative body.
So it's almost like a marionette kind of, maybe a little bobbly a little bit, you know, like reanimated.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Okay, sure.
So if Rye has him prone,
Yep.
I'd come up to him and kind of so he's down on the ground, like kick out my duster and get eye level.
Sure. Tripp, you were
Is
held, and now Temerity, this tiefling, has moved up to you. This beautiful emblazoned symbol of Pharasma staring you down.
How can we get rid of it?
Is the boy still there?
Yes, he's still there.
Is
I'm trying to leave, and it feels like, I don't know, he's like, I'm stuck to him. It's all the other ones made this seem so easy.
Why did you possess him in the first place?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to explain. It's
I think we have time.
okay.
I don't know if we have time though.
It's
if
like
you
a
could speed it
puzzle
up,
piece.
that'd be great.
It's
Well-
very similar to how one would correlate to a puzzle piece. He seemed like a good match. That was it. But I can't seem to. And you can see like the neck tensing up. It's almost like if he's trying to like detach himself in some way, but it's like it's not working. Obviously, like because he's being held down, but it's like it looks like he's trying to like push out of the body.
You see the
but
elongation
nothing's
of the neck,
happening.
like and like the
Yeah.
muscles in the neck try to like cord
That's
upward.
disgusting.
Honestly, he looks, all things considered, he looks rather pathetic in the situation.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to put on a show for you. It's just, this is really new for me. I actually just got out of there just a few minutes ago.
Got out of where?
My cell. I just,
Oh shit.
Your cell?
Where were you locked up?
Oz has a
And
feeling he knows where.
he turns slowly. What do you mean? From where? Where do you think we are?
Well, I know where we are, but what cell? What were you?
In
were you
Harrowstone.
living? What were you doing in Harrowstone?
Well, in this form, lingering, but when I was alive, I mean, serving time.
It was a prison. That's what Harrowstone was. So he was. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
while this is going on, this interaction, I'm sort of on top of Pevrin, right? And
Yeah.
I'm seeing them sort of talk to him,
Uh-huh.
like we're talking to each other. I assume that's what's happening. I'm looking over at Eli and I'm asking if he's got a rope.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. I do believe I have some rope with me. It's not the strongest rope, but it should.
It's an
should be able to
11-year-old.
Train him.
Yeah. I'm gonna, stand up. I think that's a good idea. If the boy is still in
Look,
there,
you
we
can
don't want to
release
harm
me.
him.
You can let go of me. I'm not gonna run because well, I can't at the moment it seems, but
You said you were lingering. Harrowstone?
well, yeah, that's where I belong. That's where
Did
we
you
all
happen
belong.
to see a feller that looked like? And I start describing Professor L.
Give me a memory test, Tripp. You've heard some sounds outside of the prison, but you don't know any, like you know the prisoners. That's it.
I'm sorry, but no one by that description. Most of the time it's small chuckles from the locals running back and forth, but even then I haven't seen anybody. I usually keep to myself. Please don't tie me up though. I already feel restrained in this. And he kind of like shakes himself.
My only concern about tying him up would be that we don't need to spend too much time lingering in the crypt because there are townspeople outside, and I know they're probably not comfortable in here.
Are
and
they,
the longer
aren't
we
they gonna
stay,
think it's weird when we have a little boy
And
tied
tied
up?
up.
Temerity, give me
Yeah.
a sense motive.
This is like, what the
I mean,
fuck?
I can always carry the 11-year-old.
Are you happy with the 10, or did you want to try for
I'm
greater?
I got 2, right?
Yeah.
I can
Try that
also
one
sense
more
and
time.
motive.
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
We'll
All right.
keep that one.
Temerity, you sense that his request, it sounds a lot less like an ask and a little more like a plead. There is a tremble in his voice that some of the others may have missed for shock of the situation, but you, an interrogator by nature, you're used to getting the truth, and here you can sense it. There is a fear in either Peverin or this figure known as Tripp, a fear that you're used to hearing from someone who is traumatically afraid.
Okay. Is Eli, do you say that out loud about the tied, like having a tied up
Yes.
boy? Would we?
Yes.
Okay.
I said it.
Oh, I'm sorry, Oz. So I'll look from Oz to the boy, from back to Oz. I think you're right. I think we can manage him without tying him up for now. Until
But
we
Eli
get out of
mentioned the people.
Yeah, until we get away from who's around.
Can I get
But I'll-
perceptions, please, from everyone but Tripp?
Ooh. Perceptions or sense noted?
Perception here.
23. Ooh, someone got a 24.
Oz
Perfect.
and I are just like,
Yeah. Alice is always like
It's Temerity,
freaked
Oz,
out that
Rye,
something bad's
Eli.
gonna happen because
Oh,
he's
that's right,
small.
Torvin. That's right. Okay, so this is going to go forward to Temerity and for Oz. You're watching this experience go down. Temerity, you're right there in front of the steps. Feel free to move yourself if you guys aren't happy with your location. But as it stands, you know that Rye and Peverin are sort of blocking the path up the steps. Temerity, Oz, the stone steps descending into this private hold undulates in its shadowy recesses, though it may merely be the anxiety of delving a tomb under Pharasma's watchful eye, or your mind simply playing tricks. You might be convinced that this stony climb moves of its own accord. You hear, the two of you hear something first. A metronome of snaps and clicks raking across the stone of these carved steps, rising up like a serpent. Lengthy, segmented horrors writhe and twist, pulsing their venomous mandibles in search of prey. I'm going to need initiatives from everyone.
oh shit.
Jesus.
I think like as we're all
Fourth
talking,
session and combat?
I was
Is this
gonna be
first
like,
combat? Yeah! Yeah!
You have to remember to click your character, then hit initiative,
Oh, thank you.
so it shows up in the
Yeah.
tracker.
Thank you.
If you forget to do it, you could just do it and then put your first roll in again.
Yeah. Oh, I can change it. Yeah, let me.
Yeah,
Because I think
if you-
that's more
yeah.
fair.
It'll add it and then you can go put your original roll in. Because people forget sometimes.
Like me.
It's
Thank
a
you.
weird thing. It should just like automatically.
So I
Yeah.
have Oz, Temerity,
I guess
Rye.
you can be in charge of
Those.
multiple characters, so
Oh yeah. Or you
How
might
many
not
rerolls?
be close.
We currently have 2 rerolls.
Okay, I already used mine. Okay.
We currently have 2 rerolls.
Initiative is combat order.
Yes,
Right.
yes, it is.
Yeah,
It's going to mark
it goes
whom
first.
gets to act the fastest. So I
My
have
first time.
Temerity, Eli, and Rye. I am missing Oz? Question mark?
no, I rolled. I got a 15.
Oh, Oz-
and
Oz to
I'm
Mary
on
Rye,
the
so I'm-
tracker.
I'm missing Eli. That's fine. I can put Eli in there. Easy enough.
Oh, I had a 13.
Add.
You wanted to send the result, but no valid token. Oh, token. Okay.
Yeah, you click your token first, and then click initiative. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. And let me see what I get here. We have a base speed of not exceptional. These are not great creatures, at least at this part.
Oh.
They're slithery.
They are
Yeah.
slithery.
They're danger
They
noodles.
look like centipedes.
Danger noodle.
Nope ropes.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's like good old nope ropes.
Yep.
Yep.
Never mind,
Although-
Eli. I don't need that rope.
Why can't they be boop noodles?
Yeah, boop noodle. Well, if they're venomous, then they're danger noodles.
There you go.
It's just if you don't like them that they're no probes.
All right, folks, we have our first bout of combat here. First for, at least, for this group. So, they are moving down. They're beginning to shift. Oz, you were first, and you and Temerity are the first to see this here. These creatures, these large centipedes, these giant centipedes, are slithering down the steps. They're moving.
Do I know that they're centipedes?
You have seen the steps move, but the moment that they rear their head up, showing these pulsating like mandibles that are dripping what looks to be either a poison or a venom.
What's your dex? Modifier. Mine's 2. I have 15.
You'll go first.
Okay. Oz just kind of like points and goes, "What in tarnation is that? It's got like 1,000,000 legs." And he's gonna pull out his crossbow and try to shoot at it.
Go for it. Take your shot.
Like the first one that he can see, like this.
Sure.
Is that,
Yeah, that's totally fine.
attack. 15.
15 is gonna hit. Give me some damage.
Damage is different. 6. I don't know how this works.
It's 3. It's just gonna be 3.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just gonna be 3. On your D8, you rolled minimum. Weird that I gave you a +2 on that, but it's still 3 points of damage. 3 points coming through.
Well,
you send a crossbow
so you get
quarrel.
your modifier?
No, on crossbows you do not. Crossbows don't. They're not a strength-related weapon, so it's just going to be. We'll take a look afterwards, but I'm pretty sure that you are just going to be plucking it for at least the minimum here, which is 1.
Okay.
Bubs, do I have an initiative in this combat, or is it?
That depends if they let you go.
Okay.
Your eyes bear hugging you.
Yeah. On my go.
I'm not adding any of my modifiers on it for attack or damage.
We'll take a look. We'll take a look at it in just a second, as we start closing down the line. But you pull back the crossbow and you let loose a quarrel and it sinks into some of the thickest part of the creature, but it does not respond. Either it just hit Carapace and it didn't go in quite far enough, or it's not nearly enough to drive it away. And my go, these creatures, they move rather swiftly, and they move to the first target. You can probably guess who that might be.
Just me grappling.
Just you grappling. That's accurate. Okay. All right.
Would you, Bub? Would
Yes.
you allow me to sort of shield him?
Peverin?
Yes,
Yeah.
as they like approach.
Yeah, you totally can.
Okay.
So with Oz and I getting do we go first? Do I go right after Oz?
In initiative, like you guys got to see it, but if
Okay.
you guys hadn't seen it, it would have got a surprise round.
Okay. So should I do mine as well or no?
When your round comes up, like you're quickly approaching.
Okay. All right. Just make sure.
Okay, so let's see. What is? Let's see if that's gonna hit here. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. And what is your AC, Rye?
16.
16. Okay. And I'm gonna give you a circumstantial loss because you're binding the boy and now you're holding him. It's gonna
Sure.
provide you with a prone, or not really a prone, but a -2. So I think one of them, no, 2. One's gonna get a 50-50 in my favor. I'm gonna say odd. Odd it is. So 2 of them land. I'm gonna need some fort saves. So give me a
Sure.
fortitude save, please.
Will do.
Okay.
How many do you want?
Centipedes. 20. Jesus.
Go ahead and give me another one.
They're like totally opposite.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Do you have
that's-
a reroll?
I do not.
Nope. It's fresh out. Okay. My mans, this is the first bite. Oh my God, take 7.
Wow.
Oh! 7.
Ow.
As its mandibles sink in through the side of your armor and seem to pinch and tear away raw at the flesh. This is a pain that you haven't felt in a while. And the second comes through. I'm really hoping that you don't fall prone from this. Take 3 points of damage.
Sure.
As it cuts right into the fat of your leg. Surely would have gone for Pevrin had you not brought your leg up trying to shield him. The other tries to move up and snap at you, but just can't get across the others. Rye, it is your turn.
Interesting. I am,
Bleeding.
yeah, I'm, that hurt. That's,
Right.
quite a bit of damage there.
Roll for
I
me.
yell, get back.
Roll for me 1d3, please.
Sure. Does this work if I just slash roll 1d3?
Mm-hmm. Perfect. That's the best case scenario. The one that snapped down into your leg and tore away at some of that fat of your thigh. That lingering bite, the poison seeps in, and you feel it starting to numb away at the wound and your muscle. Take 1 dex damage.
Okay. How do I represent that on my character sheet?
So up on the upper left near your attributes, go ahead and give yourself a -1 on dexterity temporary modifiers.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Eli, it will be yours after Rye. Rye, what you got for me here now that you've got this poison seeping into you?
I'm gonna attempt to sort of stand. I want to let go of my grapple, obviously, like I'm being fucking attacked.
Yeah.
So, but I want to kind of try to stand in a way that I'm in between Pevrin and the snakes. And I want to. How big are these? I'm calling them snakes, but like, how big are these creatures? These centipede things?
Giant centipedes are between 4 and 8 feet long.
Okay, so these are not.
They're not little. No.
Okay.
They could take down cattle.
Doesn't Temerity go first?
Yeah, I think Temerity would actually. No. She's 10. I'm 12.
Yeah, Rye
Oh,
is
I thought she
12.
was 15.
Eli is 10. Temerity is 10. Oz. Nope, you were. Did I misread that? Did it not come through right?
I had a 10.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I had to
Confusion,
I
sorry.
re-rolled it. No, yeah, it's fine. I'm sorry.
That was my bad.
Yep, no
Okay,
worries.
so
Didn't see the
Rye.
riddle.
So here's what's gonna happen. Rye is gonna just stand up. He's in pain, and he's just gonna react. And he just turns around. He's gonna kick, just like throw like a low kick at one of these creatures.
Go for it.
Need a good like bug squishing noise.
And...
Does that happen as he lets go? As he let goes?
Whoa!
lets
What
go?
was that? That was fucking crazy. Why was all that?
Yeah, it's
It's because your damage and your roll went at the same time because
Yeah.
you have it set like that.
Oh yeah. You just hear Pevrin go, "What's that? What's that clattering sound? What's going on?"
7 is not going to be enough. You're so used to at this point being in these fights with men, human men, elven men, whatever the case may be. You're used to fighting a bipedal creature. These have hundreds of legs as far as you can see, and you're not quite sure where to place this kick. Their segmented body, you seem to strike out with this low kick, and it just seems to kind of take this, and it weaves out this overall feel as it just sort of rolls the momentum of your kick off of its body.
Cool.
You still technically have an action. That was just your standard. You can try to move away, which might provoke an attack of opportunity. You could take a partial defensive, which will increase your defense by 2 for the remainder of the round, or at least until you get to act next.
Well, I mean, I can't. I would love to 5-foot step, but if I do, I'll be out of the way of Pevrin. So I'm just gonna hold the ground and I'll try to defend myself.
Okay. All right. Eli, you're up.
Do I have to like equip any of my stuff, or is it? Am I already?
No,
like,
you
wielding my
guys,
shield and
you guys
hammer?
were very, very clear up to this point that stepping
Yeah.
into the dungeon, you had equipped all of your things.
Yeah. Okay. Going to. I would like to get between Pevrin and the monsters, the
Okay.
crazy monsters. And I'm gonna yell, "Get back!" as I try to do that.
Okay.
Do I need?
Then by all means, if you are going to, it depends. Pevrin, are you going to let him jump into your square?
Everin? You mean?
Yeah.
I
mean, if
okay, gotcha.
if he's hearing like clattering sounds and he's not sure what's going on, yeah, he's not gonna like fight them, especially with the group that it's already surrounding him.
He just lays there.
Yeah.
Are you still tied up? So.
No,
he didn't
he
didn't even get the tie off. So they were just like
gotcha.
just discussing rope when the nope ropes started to descend upon you.
Yeah, he went roly poly on them. You just
I
went.
don't know. I'm pretty sure these are danger noodles. These have upgraded.
Yeah, they're
They're biting and poisoning people.
Yeah, danger noodles for sure.
I don't see any way that we're gonna get out of here since they're blocking the only exit. So I'm just going to try to defend Peverin. Get between. I guess right to. I'll get between them and I'll try to hold my shield up, and then I guess I will take a swing at one of them.
Okay, go ahead and move yourself into Peverin's square. Remember, you guys do have hand-to-mount control over this, so if you want to angle your character in a different way or anything like that, that's technically Rye. Peverin's just one over, but yes, you can do that.
Did he let go of him?
Yeah, he did. He let go of him and he stood up.
Okay, yeah. Yep, I'm gonna try to protect Peverin.
There we go. Okay, you basically step over the top of Peverin, putting yourself in his square. Because he is sort of prone, he's lying flat or in the fetal position, you can take a strike if you'd like to. One has an arrow.
I would like to.
Just like a coral just sticking out of the side of its body, and it seems to be lashing out, trying to grapple again over to Rye. So go ahead and make an attack for me.
And which do I click for that? My Warhammer?
Just click your weapon. Yeah, whatever weapon you'd like to use here, go for it.
Which isn't great.
Oh, that is a rough swing. Just stepping up. You're not used to the unstable footing. If you'd like to reroll, you do have them.
I would like to reroll.
Go for it. Oh, man.
That was my last one.
Go for it. Heart of the cards.
It's better.
Let's see. Is it going to be... It's not enough to hit.
Oh my gosh.
The footing is just so terse and off for you. You're not used to standing over the top of people for combat. It's a rare situation anyway. You know that coming to blows lethally is something you want to do on solid ground, but Peverin in the way might end up costing you your life. However, you're there. You're protecting him. You've drawn your shield. Your mace is ready, and you swing down and just glances across the carapace multiple times. Temerity, there is now a wall.
So we know what those arrows do.
Oh,
guys?
so I can't get like.
You can aim between them. You can technically just aim right between them if you'd like to.
Do I have time? So question.
Okay.
Because I don't remember how actions work off the top of my head. Do I have time to cast a spell? And well, it's actually like a trait. I think it's a spell. Judgment plus an attack, or
Okay,
is it one or the other?
Go ahead and queue up the judgment for me. I'd like to see what you're trying to
Depends on if it
utilize.
says action.
I am going to specifically.
It's a swift action. Okay.
Swift
yes,
action. So it's like
specifically healing.
Sure, go for it. Then it's a swift action. Swift action. I mean, you can technically make as many swift actions as your character can elapse in a span of time. So, whatever you'd like to do. What is this judgment specifically?
It is healing.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Hold on. No, it's not healing for me. It is. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I just had it. It's basically the one, not destruction.
Panic, paralyzed, or unconscious, otherwise prevented from.
I thought that okay, I read that wrong because I thought I could put it on Bry, and I cannot. So what I will do then is do that, then destruction.
So are you choosing you're basically choosing a sacred bonus then?
Yes.
Okay, you're giving the sacred bonus. In destruction, you fill it with divine wrath, gaining a +1 sacred bonus on all weapon damage and weapon damage rolls, and bonus for every 3 Inquisitor levels you have. Gotcha. So you're casting that upon yourself, correct?
Unless I can cast healing on Rye.
I mean, technically, there's nothing that says that you can't. Do you have the ability to cast a healing spell?
Well, so judgment, you can pick. anyone.
Okay.
There's a bunch of different. Remember, that's the one that was like a book.
Yes.
That was like, here's all the different options.
It was in fact a novella, correct?
Yes. One of the options, which is why it took me a long time. I apologize. One of the options is 1 point of damage heal per round.
Okay, so that's purity, right? I feel like that's
it's just
or is it
called
resiliency?
healing.
Oh, it's just healing. So then,
Yeah.
as a swift action, you channel a judgment, and you're either going to go with destruction for yourself or healing for Rye. Is that what
Then
you
I
like?
do healing for Rye.
Gotcha. Go for it. So this is going to cause the Inquisitor. Wait a minute. This causes the Inquisitor to heal 1 point of damage each round as
Yeah.
long as the
See, that's
Inquisitor is
why I was
alive.
curious.
It targets yourself.
Okay, so then I'll do
Yeah.
destruction.
Gotcha. Okay, then you channel destruction, and you are enveloped in this almost pharasmic-like aura that brings forth divine justice from your bow. Fire, and we will give you your bonus. Man, the die are not in favor of everyone.
I have a reroll. I'm gonna
Go
use
for it. Please do. That's much better. That's much better. That's and you got max damage out of it.
Nice.
Okay, okay, would you like to control the way that this looks, or do you want me to herald this?
You got it.
You pull forth this judgment from Pharasma. You are in her restlands after all. You're used to all of this. This is so natural for you, and it's not the first creature that you have smoted in your time. You can see that Rye has taken heavy blows, and it looks as if Eli is struggling to gain his footing. But you draw your crossbow and channel this Pharasman energy, and as you aim it downward, just over shoulder, it rears up to strike back down and just pour this poison into your allies. You manage to catch it right between the mandibles, and you blow out the back of its carapace as the coral pierces the rear side of its head. It falls immediately. There is a twitch and tremble as it drops. You hear the clack of its feet multiple times over the steps, and it dies. We'll say that this is the middle. He's gone. Oz.
Huzzah! Our first kill.
That's right.
Well done.
What does
Right.
Oz do?
Oz is like big-eyed and just shoots again.
Okay. It is the restart of initiative there.
Oh my god, I'm gonna re-roll that.
Oh,
This is
okay.
That one. 10. I have one more re-roll. Might as well. Let's
yeah.
do it. Y'all
What
are
in
awesome.
the world?
This is bad.
This is a rough fight, man.
Oof.
A
all of
rough
them
fight
used.
for sure.
That's all I got.
It's been a while since
9.
you've been in a fight. You're not used to this kind of thing, and while you can see that they're very clearly centipedes, you can't really get a good shot off. Temerity
The
stepped up
last
between
time
them.
Oz was in a fight, he used a pan to hit someone over the head. It was by accident.
It's true. It's very, very true. And glancing at best, it seems to bounce off of the carapace, hit the wall, and then slide, snapping to the stone. Let's see if it actually breaks. I'll give it a high or low in your favor here, Maggie.
What's breaking?
If your quarrel breaks,
Oh, why is it breaking?
it's basically firing
Low.
into the stone wall. So low in your favor. Okay, you're good. Your quarrel is fine. It seemed to just clink off the wall and drop a few steps up. And it seems to be fine. Momentum stopped it, luckily enough.
So this is like my ammo that I can go pick up again later. Okay.
That is correct. All right, so we're going to split these here in my go. So the first is going to go to Eli, and the second is going to go to Rye. Eli. Rye. Ooh.
Jesus Christ.
Rye. Take 4 points of damage.
Rye's eyes start to feel a little fuzzy, and he sort of steps a little bit back and then loses his balance and looks like his legs just kind of noodle, and he's out.
What are you technically? Are you at 0 or 1 or below?
I am at a -2 now.
Okay, you have officially entered dying state. For every turn that goes by until they're able to heal you, you will lose 1 point of health.
Mm-hmm.
We have a bit of a measure here. I will tell you to guess the number 1 to 10. If you manage to guess that number as I roll it, You'll stabilize. You'll stay at that number. You won't continue to bleed out. You essentially coagulate, and you start to you start to stabilize yourself. You're not going to
Darn,
heal.
man, you're dead.
But Rye is
It's a good
in
run.
a
We got this.
wicked way right
I
now.
can't heal you.
We have those mystery flasks.
This is true.
Just start pouring mystery.
I was gonna mention
Try
something
to drink
about
the
it, but
red
it's
one,
like,
man.
yeah.
It seemed to have whipped up with lightning speed, and as it tore out with its mandible, it just crooned up around your neck, biting down. It seems to watch you fall backwards. His eyes flutter, the legs go wobbly, and it is now on top. It seems to be attempting to feast upon the neck of Rye. It's just over the top of him.
Cool.
And we're going to drag that just like that. Tripp. It is your turn.
So,
You're muted.
as Tripp looks up and sees Rye getting feasted on, well, one, he's gonna freak out. You're gonna hear him. You're gonna hear him just like look over, and he's gonna ah! And I would say if he remembered where the dagger was when he tried to pickpocket from Rye the first time, it would be pretty instinctual to try to grab it and like stab at the thing to get it away from him.
Give me a perception. I'll even give you a circumstantial bonus here, so we'll see if you manage to catch this here. Oh yeah, yes, Tripp. It just so happens that it is on the side, and you can see just the base of it. The pommel is just outside of what looks to be like a, I don't want to say like a bandolier as much as it looks to be some sort of like leather holder on his side.
All right. Yeah. So like him full screaming as this thing is still biting at him, you just see him grab it really quick and go, yeah, try to stab at him.
Sure. You pull it from the pocket, and then you bring it downward over the top of him. Make an attack for me.
And stabs Rye.
Die, human!
Yeah.
I'll re-roll that.
Go for it.
17.
Much better, much better. Give me a D4 plus your strength mod. Well, technically, you don't have a strength mod, so it's going to be a D4.
2 damage.
2, very good. There is a scream. Everybody else can see this. While Rye is incapacitated at the moment, you hear this sheepish scream as Peverin seems to scramble over, reach into what looks to be the pocket, draw the dagger that he had managed to muster to steal away from Rye earlier, and just flinch it down into the back of this creature. Its head kind of comes up, croons upward, and starts like wobbling around as it's stuck. Rye, give me a number 1 to 10. Let's see if you can stabilize here. It's our
I'm
guessing
gonna
game.
call out 4.
4, it's always 4. Until it's 3.
Ugh.
Lose 1 hit point.
All right. And it's
Eli.
at negative. Wait, hold on a second. Real quick clarification.
Mhm.
Is it negative? When
Whatever
do I
your con
actually
score.
die? And when
When your
my
whatever your-
con score. Okay.
Yep, when your con score is at
Gotcha.
negative whatever that number is.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. Eli, what do you got?
Peverin didn't move out from underneath me.
Sort of. He's more so at this point. He's in the adjacent square, and he's fighting alongside Rye's semi-flailing body.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna continue to try to, keep guarding Peverin.
Hammer away.
I see Rye down. I see that he just struck the giant centipede, so I'm gonna continue to try to go after the one that's already taken damage.
Yeah, go
Try
for
to
it.
whittle them away. So, okay. There we go.
Oh,
Damn, crit.
oh my goodness.
Let's go.
Ouch.
And you confirmed the critical.
Wow.
You did 20 bludgeoning damage.
What?
It's missed.
That's
There's not a body left. It's
That's-
just stained.
4. That is 4 times its total health.
Yes.
Cobalt, describe what this amalgamation of splorchy wetness looks like. How does this look in your opinion? What does the attack look like?
After a moment of recalling what the feel of combat is and the rush of the adrenaline, Eli rears back his tree trunk of an arm and brings his warhammer down along the side of the centipede, crushing his body against the nearby wall with a bloody spray of poison and mist.
It seems to ooze out as bits of ichor and chunks of its body are stuck into the crannies and the nook of your mace. Oh, what an absolute mess.
That later.
For sure. Temerity, go ahead.
Bub, real quick, should I have taken a point of poison damage?
I'm tracking that. Unfortunately, you can roll it. Well, I'm basically tracking how many times you're gonna have to roll when we're out of combat.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure we weren't, because I don't want to get to a certain negative and then like,
no.
We forgot the poison. It's like, oh.
Like, I'm gonna be okay or not.
Yeah, I'll be fine, guys.
So, seeing the splatter of blood, I'm pretty sure Eli's got the last one, and I'm gonna turn to Rye and cast a Rebuke Death, which heals anyone below 0 hit points for 1d4 plus 1.
Gotcha. Okay. Rebuke Death.
Yeah. I guess I have to roll. It doesn't. I thought it would roll.
Oh,
That
I'll
Should
get
have rolled
healed.
for you.
Useful.
I actually took damage. Really.
Oh, hoo-hoo!
That's pretty good.
I'll take it. 5.
Yeah.
4,
It's
4.
it's
I
4.
can't math.
You
Math is
don't.
hard.
You never heal from the negative. You always heal from 0 when you heal. This divine retribution, a rebuke death pours over you, a new style of energy. While it doesn't quite shake you from your unconsciousness, you feel this bizarre coolness sort of enrapture your body. You're not sure if you're dreaming or if this is actually death. As you pull back from death's door, you are now at 4 hit points.
Oh, I thought I healed multiple. I only healed
Oh, nice.
Temerity, you still technically have a move if you'd like it. It is a standard action, so you have a move equivalent if you'd like to.
Hey, Bub, it looks like there was a little bit
you're
of a
muted.
hiccup.
You're muted.
I'm muted?
No.
I'm muted. It's like
No,
every
she's muted.
flipping work call I'm on all day. So, not a standard action though, just a move.
It's just a move action.
Okay. In that case, then I will.
If you're looking for advantage, because I know this is probably the first kind of combat that you've been into for a while, if you're able to get behind the target, you will provide flank with anyone that steps up to it. And that's going to give you guys both bonuses to attacking.
So I would probably though just stand in front of Rye, because I don't want him to get any more flipping injured.
Okay,
Here
all
he
right.
is.
So then go ahead and move to where you'd like to be.
Which I guess actually kind of flanks, right? Because now it's like a mess of people. Hold on.
It is a mess of people for sure.
let me zoom in as far as I can.
I think there's a monster on top of his body.
The monster
Yes,
is on
it's
top of
right
his
here.
body, correct.
So I don't
so
think
I'm
you can
right.
actually get on top of him.
Well then,
Again.
then I will. Then I'll get to the. I'll flank it. I'll get to this. I'll go to the side.
Okay, sure. Now you've actually successfully drawn a line of flank between you and Eli. You'll both have bonuses to striking. Oz, you just witnessed this absolute carnage of the two of them releasing a flurry of attacks. What does Oz do?
It's just a monstrosity of a pile of people just swinging shit left
Oh,
and
yes.
right and
Battle's messy.
centipede arms and gross shit.
Yes.
Oz is gonna continue with his wide eyes and shooting his crossbow. Doesn't have anything else that he wants to do. 17.
That's gonna hit.
1 piercing. Oh my god.
You are, if nothing else, consistent with that with that one. Perfect.
I should
Pew,
just cast
pew, pew,
spells,
pew, pew.
but at the same time, I think he's just like, what is going on? And also, he got yelled at by Rye. He's a little afraid to cast any spells right now.
Justifiable.
Yeah.
Got the ribbons.
Did that dice bump into the other and knock it over
I
in
think
that roll?
so.
That was weird.
Look, The only thing I'm good at is casting spells. And every time I do that, something bad happens.
I can tell you right now that nobody has triggered any wild magic this session. I have no fear. No fear of spellcasting.
Okay. Sure.
My turn.
That's what he tells you to get you comfortable.
The creature is going to try to turn and run away. Pevrin, Eli, and Temerity, because you were in melee range, each of you can get a strike if you'd like to. Bear in mind, it's on top of Rye. If you follow through, you may end up damaging Rye.
I look up and I give a nod, like, do it.
Oh my god. Nat 20.
Tripp takes his attack. Confirm?
Confirm.
That is an even or an odd in your favor. Even. Very good.
Dang.
Even. Roll damage for me. Minimum damage. Still minimum damage, but you were able to.
Damage.
For the
Bro,
flavor
I feel
and
you.
for the sake of this, as this thing tries to skirt away, you hear that as it's trying to like move up the steps and run. Something in you weren't expecting it. This ferocious side of you. Maybe it's your survival instincts. Maybe it's because they haven't immediately smoted you despite seeing the Pharasman symbol. But you draw back that dagger again and you drive it down, catching just the tail end of this creature. But when you do, you hit something hard. And as you attempt to pull back away, you can't. You've embedded the dagger in the step, and the creature can no longer escape. It's just kind of flailing around, trying to move up the steps, and it just cannot.
You see Pepper. He's all, finish it! Finish it!
Attacks of
Can
opportunity.
I, like, push my shield up against it, or try
You-
to pin it down, or
So your attack of opportunity is just that. You get a chance to take a swing as it's bolting away.
Okay. I think I'll go last.
So, Temerity, do you take a shot?
If it's alive, I do. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Fire away at it. That's definitely gonna hit. Oh my god. Oh. How? Wow. That's
Temerity's a badass.
she's
I did not mean to OP
she's
this.
a murder bot. Oh.
And she's
Healing,
and
killing.
she's tanky.
Carry me.
I mean, I'll let her carry me.
Oh, Temerity with shotgun blast just out of nowhere. This thing cannot do it. Maybe you managed to strike a vital spot, but as soon as your quarrel connects, it falls. It just drops immediately. There is no blood curdle. There's no sort of interaction of its muscles trying to continue to move. It just stops. Combat comes to a hasty end. But this doesn't mean that the encounter is finished.
Shit.
The encounter is not immediately finished because Rye is still bleeding. Rye is still dying. When he moves away, you can see that his leg wound is bleeding viciously. He has a spot in his back that's starting to pool up just to the side. And there is a vicious wound at the throat as well.
Pevrin will remove his shirt and he'll start like pushing it against the wound against the neck.
The boy immediately begins reacting.
Oz will run over, but he doesn't know what to do. He's like, someone, you gotta help him. I don't know how to heal nobody.
Does anybody have anything that they can do? Temerity
I will.
or
I'll-
Eli?
What do I have that I can?
Heal. If you have the basic ability heal.
I don't. I do though have
I
I'll
do.
cast. I'll cast virtue.
Okay.
So
Why do you say it like that, Cobalt?
the reluctancy.
Wow.
A virtue.
So it's just
Because I know
one.
what you
Fun
are.
laws.
I know what your nature is.
Granting you
You
one
just
temporary
saw
hit
me.
point.
You just saw me save a child.
I did,
all right?
and that might be what sways me.
Right. Well, and as I do this, just the one hit point, the temporary one, I will kind of glance it at Pevrin / Tripp with a confused side eye. now I don't.
You don't know what to make of it. It's very
right,
confusing
like
for
what
you.
the hell is going on?
Yeah.
I mean, even as an 11-year-old kid, you said he was like labored, right? Like he's got some tonnage on him.
No,
I
he's
could rip
not.
the-
It's not. He's actually it's the reverse of it. He's rather
he's-
dexterous, but he has fine penmanship. He works for the
Okay.
for the polls as like he writes jobs out.
I would use the dagger to cut the shirt and actually make like decent bindings for the neck.
Sure. Eli, I think you are you out of your luck rolls for the moment?
I mean, I was trying to see what exactly my heal did, but it just rolled it. I didn't get a description.
Okay,
of it.
so heal is it's sort of a vague like blanket. Essentially, utilizing heal is just part of it. You have to tell me what exactly you like to do here. Are you attempting to apply an ointment or a salve? Are you stitching a wound? Are you trying to bind with gauze? It's only part of the job. Remember, this is something that is adequately overlooked consistently in tabletop games. Using divine magic just fills the health bar, but the wounds don't go away unless you mend the wound. So you actually have to heal him. So sutures, man-made staples, something of this effect that's going to prevent the blood from continuing to flow out from his neck.
How conscious am I?
How what?
How conscious am I? I mean,
You are not conscious.
okay, so I just have my health points back, but I'm
Correct.
still unconscious. Okay,
Correct.
well, I'll just lay here then.
I guess I'll, Eli was moved by how quickly that Rye actually reacted to protect the innocent boy, even though he is possessed, because we don't know what's going on with him. So, because of that, and just because I haven't seen any sort of manifestation of his evil nature, I will try to take the rope from my bag and. Did he get bit in the leg?
Yes, he was.
Well?
He was bit in the thigh pretty badly. But the heaviest wound you can see just by raw amount is coming from his back.
Okay.
It's basically the flank and the back. They managed to get into an open spot where his armor sort of binds up and pierce through just a small portion of it.
Can I attempt to try to suck out the wound, the poison from the wound?
You have to
or is it too
identify.
deep in the armor?
You'd have to identify exactly which wound it's from. He has 3.
Figured all of them were poisoned.
Okay, sure. Give me a heal check per wound.
Okay. We're gonna have words later about this, dude.
About you sucking.
Take care of my
Right.
wounds, Eli.
Don't F us, bro.
Suck all my wounds,
Put your mouth
baby.
anywhere. Help me.
Wow. Very, very good. Very good. Maybe it's your experience with some of the creatures in the wild. Remember, Professor Lorimore sought you out for some of your experiences with creatures, and this is almost second nature for you. So sure enough, you are able to identify. It takes a moment, but you're able to identify exactly which spot has this poison that seems to have seeped in. The back is just bleeding out a large amount of red blood. You're not really sure if it's hit a vital spot or not, but it's not really slowing down. The second wound is already starting to almost like oblate outward, and it's drawing in heat. And the moment that you put like your lip to the wound, you get this almost acidy, this taste that seems to linger, and it immediately numbs your tongue. So you start to siphon this from the wound, and it's in no small amount before you're able to spit it down and like wipe it away. But you're convinced after looking at the back and then looking at the neck, the second wound was definitely the one, so you didn't have to follow through with the neck. But now that this is out, you're definitely stopping some of this lingering effect of the poison. The wounds are not closed, however.
Yeah, just trying to
Question.
slow it down.
Yes, go for it. What you got?
Do you play it where if you taste potions that you can kind of tell what it is?
You have an opportunity. Bear in mind, it is in my Pathfinder worlds, divine magic is not something that is so rare. In fact, it's sort of hit like a level of consumerism to a degree that they're mass marketing potions. So you're able to identify healing potions. If you have a light green potion at all, a light green potion is a healing potion.
We have no light green potions, just letting y'all know. Okay, good.
We got
I
some
think
premium ones.
you just see Oz just clinking around with all of these potion bottles, trying to find
Sure.
a green one, but he doesn't find one.
Yeah, it's just fairly common knowledge.
This is
Oz
the
is
part.
just like, I don't see a healing potion in here.
Now, if you guys would like to lend aid specifically to Eli, who seems like he knows what he's doing, you can. You just roll a d20, add your heal bonus. Even if you don't have one, then it's just a flat d20. If you break 10, you offer him +2.
Gotta
That's it.
stitch him up, guys.
I'm
Gotta stop
not
the
good at
bleeding.
that. So,
Basically, you would be more or less just, you'd be offering, and he would be explaining to you what you need to do. Hold this wound, tear this cloth, place this here, wet this
heal is
particular
whiz-based,
bandage.
right?
Yes.
So whoever has the highest whiz modifier, not me.
It can't be terrible. Worst case scenario, you fail.
I have a 1 modifier. I don't know what everyone else is.
That's better than nothing.
Anyone else have higher?
I mean, I have a 10, but I'm healing, so. I
Yeah.
don't think
Can we all roll if we
Yeah,
want to?
yes. Yeah, if you guys would like to aid.
1d20?
It's whatever you can just click heal. Just click on heal as a
Or will
skill.
we make it worse for him if we roll
No,
less?
no, he's guiding you. It's
I guess we
since
can all
he's
do it then.
if he's leading the roll.
5.
Okay, so
Like I
Oz,
said,
you're
Oz no bueno.
a bit of a fumbling
He's
mess
freaking
here.
out. Oz
you're
is like
panicking.
in the background being annoying, going, I can't find a green one, and I just made Rise a friend. I can't lose him. I heard he lost one of my friends, and he's just kind
Quiet,
of like
we're trying to
losing
concentrate.
his shit.
Temerity, just stoic and resolved, just absolutely manages to do exactly what you need. Not sure what to do. It's not her area of expertise. You can very clearly tell that, but she takes command easily enough. So do you command her to do anything? Are you asking her to kind of like hold anything, or what would you like to do here?
I want her to take the water skin that I have, and when it's too bloody for me to see when I start stitching, just to pour it a little bit, keep it clean, so that I can, keep sight of the wound
Sure.
and keep it clean stitch.
Okay.
All right. So since I'm close when he says that to Oz, I'll just look over to Oz. You're doing fine. He's gonna be fine. We're gonna help him. Don't worry.
Oz just pets his pecker.
So then, Eli, give me a heal check for the most vicious wound. The rest, you are confident that you can bind now with the shirt straps. Ooh.
Do we hit another?
We were close, man. We're like 2 away. We're like
we
2
need
away.
more subs.
Two subs away was how close. Look at Yellow's face. Just... Oh, that rolled off of a 15. I felt it in my heart.
Does it make it worse? Like shoves his finger in there and.
You're not going to make it worse. There's not really much in the way of critical failing a skill in this regard, but you're struggling with it. The bleeding is one thing. Now this is one area where I can express to the chat. Chat, this is where you guys have effect over the game. I wasn't going to allow you to affect anything in live, at least in regards to that. Oh wow. Okay, so everybody's coming through a bunch of heroes.
Yay.
I would pay for it myself if I was allowed to, but he told me before we started,
can't.
at the very start, that I'm not allowed to buy my own rerolls. So
That's true.
I
He
just
did
want to
tell us
say that Rai is encouraged by the love and outpouring from the chat to save his mortal soul.
I mean, if you died, it wouldn't be the worst thing.
I mean,
But I'll try to
For
save you out of
you.
necessity.
He's become Oz's best friend since Professor L died.
mums
all we
and
can't
shit.
lose.
Mums
Can't
and
lose
shit.
on me. We got a secret word, though. What?
Exactly.
All right, I'll try to reroll my
Go
heal.
for it. Go for
Chat
it. Let's
wants
see what
to
you got.
pretend that they don't like Rai,
Much better.
but when it comes down
A
to
little
it, they're
better.
ready to save him. I'm just noting that, chat. I'm just saying.
Much.
I thought Oz and I had a bond. I'm kind of distraught here.
That's a
Much
different
better.
kind of bond.
You're basically a god, okay? So
Yeah, we
Today,
all are fawning
tomorrow's
over
a whole-
you. It's a problem.
you're
Next
gonna be
week's a
very
whole new
popular
thing.
after this.
Gen Human coming through and actually hooking you guys up with your
man.
4th luck reroll as well. Believe it or not, guys, they are 4. I believe they're 4 away from their last luck reroll as well. So thank you guys very much for coming through and saving our heroes
Thank
tonight.
you.
Additionally, there is something that the chat is not aware of yet. In these games, by sitting in the chat and being active, you guys earn a chat currency called reputation. And you can use that reputation right now. You can use that reputation to actually heal the players. It is a grand total use of 3 times. If you expend your reputation afterwards, then it's just gone. Noted additionally, you can heal an enemy once. You can actually check the table. There's the table if you wanted to use that. You can see exactly how the heals go.
Oh, wow, that was a great question. That's actually a great question. I don't remember. Can chat use it to harm us?
Technically, by healing the enemies, that's as straightforward as harming can go.
Right.
Yes. And at some point, I will open back up to where you guys can create weapons. You can create new challenges and stuff like that. But I want to get at least 5 sessions in before I start opening up those floodgates and letting you guys wreak havoc over the game.
My gosh, ancient dragon over here.
Yeah, yes. So that's how you guys can actually garner your rep. You do that by sitting in chat, by beating the bit boss. If the bit boss dies, then I give 20,000 reputation to everyone in chat. That's a lot. That's more than I've ever given to any chat ever period before. But
Let's make it happen.
Good luck. Can you poison?
We can do it. We can do it. We need that power up.
Scared the shit out of me. Oh my god! I was like, "What's happening to my computer right now?"
It's the
I was
power
like,
up sound.
I thought that was like a bit boss getting hit. I was like,
Yeah, me too. I was like, shit, did we just do it?
No.
That was a little. You know what? I'm good. I'm not scared.
I have a victory
You're scared.
sound if we make it.
Perfect. Chat's saying now, like, wait a minute. I've been here for 3 hours and only got 26 rep, and he's gonna give us 20,000. Okay. You managed to bind up the wound. You're able to suture with the kit that you have, with the equipment, because I remember in character construction, you've spent a fair amount on a variety of things. And I remember you getting, I'm pretty sure you got like fishing line and stuff like that as well.
How cool does Rye look unconscious here with like the bloods? Does he look like really cool?
I don't know.
That's what you care about right now?
Eli, Temerity, Oz, does he look cool?
Oz thinks he's the coolest.
I can't see if
Oz
he
is like
looks
his number
bloody.
1 fan.
Lame.
I think
Only hammers are cool, dude.
I'm just saying, like, there's a cool way to look when you're unconscious, and then there's like a really silly way to look where it's like, damn.
I mean,
think
he's
he
been all
looks-
morning frothing, so.
I don't think it's silly. I think it's definitely like this man is injured. We have to help him. So it's less like, oh, look at him. Shit, he needs help. So I think the compassion level lends itself in the middle there.
Okay, all right, I like that. Okay, I just want to make sure we have the adequate affection for Rye right now. I just
sucked all of your wounds, bro. I can't think you look that high, okay?
Your
Oh my God,
your
that's
paladin
true.
nature could not just allow me to die like that, could it?
Eli's
I
trying to
mean-
suck your wounds. I'm like freaking the fuck out, annoying Eli. Temerity's calming me the hell down while also helping Eli.
I'm
Trying
bleeding.
to
Hot
focus,
mess.
vile
I'm bleeding a
creature.
lot.
Peverin.
And Ghost
doing
Boy
my
over
part.
here is
I'm
actually
bleeding.
helping, and I'm just fucking mind blown.
Peverin, you were stuck at this point in some sort of nebulous torrent of chaos between this lot. You were not expecting specifically this, but of all things, Oz, whatever Oz might be, with that meal at his waist that is clearly a pet, you're not really sure what to think, but you keep looking down at this man. He stood over the top of you. He stopped these creatures from attacking you. Either it was the boy's body or it was you. However, this is the first time, and as long as you can remember, anyone has given a damn about you at all. What does Peverin do right now?
What he does best, fucking hides. You see him like you see him like kind of like slow crawl back, and then he like hops into the coffin and just hides in there.
So you're gonna go climb in the coffin?
Yeah, he's scared. Like he just got attacked by some fucking creatures, and then yeah, the people helped him, but like one of them's got a pharasma fucking symbol blowing up on them, and the healing that Rye received felt pretty damn hot.
Yes. Yeah, Temerity
And,
coming
like,
through with the
not-
big numbers.
not feeling too comfortable for him. So like he's not sure what to do. Like don't get me wrong, like he would be grateful, but like going through feeling that channel energy, even touching like the skin of the body, like freaked him out. Like, oh shit, like homegirl can like blast me into oblivion with this.
Yeah,
like,
for
Can
sure.
I perception him go into the coffin?
It's not really like something that you have to roll for. You can glance back. He starts scooting back, more or less, not like entirely crab walking, but like in fear, he starts scooting away.
When he starts moving, I'm just gonna be like, Temerity, like, you know, because like, can you handle that? Like, to make sure he doesn't go anywhere when while we're suturing up Rye here.
He scoots up into the coffin, climbs in, and you just see the top of Peverin's head and hands kind of drape over, and he's just watching.
I think he's okay for the moment. He's not going.
Don't let him out of our sight. I don't trust it.
Is there?
Oswald,
Did we have enough
keep an
time
eye on
to?
him.
Yeah, I don't. When we went down there, did we have enough time to case it and see if there's any other exits? Because I don't recall there being
No.
other.
No,
Like,
there
that's
is.
clearly.
A light turned on, like the light in this corner turned on
Yeah.
as soon as we opened up the tomb.
Right.
You know that at this point, with your personal belongings, there's only so much you can do for Rye. You can get him to the church, and they'll be able to assist quite a bit more, or you could just get him back to the Lorimore house and ask for aid from that point. Either way, if he remains down here, he may still die.
All right, so we got to get going.
If we go to the church, I don't think we can really take Peverin with us. But if we go elsewhere, then we might be able to take Peverin with us.
How far away is each? Which one's closest to us? The church or
The Lorimore house.
the Lorimore house?
Mhm.
I
Oz
use second wind.
would push for the Lorimore house since it's closer.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody at the church, so that would be Temerity's call as well.
I think that I want to find out more about the boy, and I'll stand up when I say that. If he's got Rye all under control, stand up. But the boy, we need to figure out how to free Peverin and what's going on. And I'll walk over to the coffin and just look at him and just kind of like get out.
Torvin's probably smoking right now.
Oz will
lounging in a
offer
chair.
his hand to help you get out of the thing.
Yeah, you see him like this with the daggers, like, and like he still kind of like does like a sleight of hand where he kind of like dips his hand where he lets go of it and it slides away, and he goes, "Thanks." And he gets out. He goes, "Well, we handled ourselves well, but your
How
friend
about
does
poop
need
my
help."
pants?
Yes, as did I. Yes.
What
But-
the hell are those things?
Dangerous. As we can see by the condition of your friend here, we should probably get some aid to him.
Does anybody have knowledge
You know?
nature?
Oz nods.
How did they
Knowledge?
get in here?
No, I have knowledge arcana.
It would be they're as natural as can be. I mean, as
So
natural
them
as 6
coming
foot
in-
long centipedes can be, but yes.
It wouldn't. Could that be something that would just happen?
Not likely. You guys didn't really thoroughly investigate a ton. You pretty much followed the steps down, hit the door, and then descended down again.
Who are you asking for the nature check for?
Anybody, if anybody has knowledge nature.
Yeah, I don't.
Very good. Temerity, you
Nice.
you're not unfamiliar to these creatures. You may have not ever encountered them, but they were a part of your course study. These are giant centipedes, and you know exactly how to kill them, as you've shown. But more than that, they have a lot of abilities where they can flatten their body down and squeeze through relatively thin spaces. And they're creepers of the dark. They like to go where it's cool, where it's moist. And there's a very good chance that this is probably where they may have been hulling up. Maybe, perchance, even had eggs in this area.
Can I?
Are we missing something in here? Maybe is there like another room that we haven't found?
I was gonna say, can I detect magic in the room? Because I detected undead, but not magic.
Sure, there's a lot of
I mean,
mundanities
if our-
here.
If our goal is to look, I can look around.
Does
But
anyone have an extra coat, by the way? It's
the more time we spend here, the longer the chance, or the higher chance the Rai could ripperonis.
So I'm
Yeah.
curious. I have to ask the question. What is it that you might be looking for?
Maybe that we didn't find the right cache of stuff.
Oh yeah, there's no way to mince this. You guys found some incredibly magical gear when peering over it in the magical spectrum. Magical gear
get outta
is
here, then.
seldomly discovered, and what you have found, this would cost a fortune to find.
Pack it up. Let's pack it up and get him out of here, guys.
Bring him to the house.
Who's
I don't trust
shouldering
anyone
Rye?
else except for what's at the house. I don't know anyone in this town, so
Who is shouldering?
I mean, I'm the strongest, so I'll try to carry him.
Okay, all right. So you're gonna like fireman carry here?
We do have a cart
Um,
or carriage, right?
Yes, I brought.
Yeah,
yes, I brought
outside.
the carriage.
Very good.
It's outside of the restlands though, so it's still a bit of a walk.
It
Okay.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Give
I'll
me
try
strength.
to he'll probably just have to go over my shoulders.
That's fine.
I guess. So
You guys have all of your luck rolls for the record. Jack kind of came through.
Ooh.
I try to flex my way out of this.
Thank you, Jack.
I just try to flex and get out of this.
That's fine. I'm probably pretty worn out from
Sure.
the fight plus the coffin plus both of the doors. So
He's not. I wouldn't say he's exhausted, but he's winded from this experience. You can tell. Does anybody want to offer any assistance? It's hard carrying dead weight, and Rye is not a little person.
nope.
if I could offer any, I don't know if I could, but
Can't hurt.
You're 11. You can do
Right.
this.
I'll
You're
look at-
basically an adult.
Gosh.
Get by the
You're able to assist.
Right.
The thing that you can
Just a
tell
flat-
Eli is struggling with is just getting the weight upward while he's above knee, because he's so low to the ground. So you assist in sort of like holding him in place, and with your aid, you can help him sort of tousle the body over his shoulder, and that'll allow him to start climbing up.
Right over my backpack and shield, like kind of resting on my neck right there.
Yeah. And you begin to move. You begin to exit the restlands. Now the rain didn't wait for you guys to finish your combat. The wind didn't cease. As you exit that stone mausoleum, do you place the lock back in original position? I'm generally curious.
Did we get all of the,
I would,
the,
yes,
the
I
stuff
would-
in the coffin as well?
I think
Yeah,
so.
I think we all have. We took. Didn't we split it all up?
Oz has the elixirs then?
Yeah, I have the arrows.
Yeah, I can
Well,
take the elixirs.
I wanted to make sure to grab the Ouija board as well that was left.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not as well as the planchette.
Yeah. The Darkwood case. Scary
Yeah,
grass.
if everyone
Make
was
sure we
heading
didn't
out,
leave anything behind.
I
before
would
we
also
go.
probably do that by. I don't know if I would do that by second nature though.
I would make sure
Well.
everything was back where it was supposed to be on
Okay.
our, for sure.
Then yeah, he would go to the cart as quickly as he could because he's still a shirtless 11-year-old boy with some blood on him now. So he's gonna go and probably pull like the little like covering that the horses use. He's gonna probably pull that off and like cover himself up,
Sure. Seems
or like
good.
cut some holes in the sides and just like wear like a small like makeshift coat kind of thing.
Right. It's not comfortable.
Oh yeah.
Certainly
it's
designed
pure
for
functionality.
a creature that is significantly larger than yourself, but Temerity, as odd as it looks, Peverin moves up, still holding on to that same dagger, and he tears away the bridle coat over your horse, and he seems to sort of makeshift what looks to be like a longer vest.
Oz will say, "May I?"
To whom?
To Peverin.
Okay.
Or Tripp.
I'm sorry. Yes.
He's gonna touch him and prestidigitation clean the blood off of his tunic.
Oh. Thank you. The rain would have done that though. But thank you nonetheless. you could feel him like shaking as he like says that. Like he's still like really nervous, and it's kind of like one of those things where he keeps looking back over to make sure that Temerity's like within at least like 6 feet away from him, like 6 to 10 feet. And even in the car, he'll like sit opposite her, but he'll like keep like a focus.
Oh, so they're just gonna have an epic stare down all the way back. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely some nervousness there. And some of you can probably guess what it is. For those of you that aren't aware, Temerity is an inquisitor of a god of death. And he is dead. I'll let you put those together there. Mm-hmm. Riding back to town, Temerity, do you push your steed? And do you stop in front of the Lorimore house?
I push, but we also, yes, we stop in front of the house.
Okay. Torvin, you have, as far as the tale was going last time, you had spent some of your early morning helping Kendra. You have been an advocate up to this point, encouraging that we get the fuck out of this town. Let's go. Why don't we go to Lepidstadt? Let's go. And she keeps saying and stating over and over again, I have to stay. I have a decision. I have to box these things up. I have to make moves. I have to make these. And it sounds like excuses to you, but you feel as if being on hand and lending your aid, you can help encourage that movement and offer some wisdom or advice in a very different time. You feel useful, but you sort of feel as if you're out of place, and the others have been gone for a long while. You saw the Restlands. It's not an exceptionally large place. You don't know what would be taking them so long. What do? Do you stay back and wait? Do you continue to hold out?
I think I would wait a little while.
Okay.
I mean, they're big boys and girls. They can go and do their thing. I shouldn't worry. And then you get into that whole, now I'm over worrying.
And right as that worry comes to like this paramount concern where you're starting to like look to Kendra and you're gathering your things, not sure whether or not you're going to stride out into the rain to the Restlands to potentially be a hero or just a guidance light. You hear Steed whinny outside, and there is a creaking halt. Carriage doors open, and there are muffled voices. Do you open the door? Do you go to look to see what's happening?
I'll go investigate.
You recognize a boy. This time he's wearing something a little different. It looks like some crudely made leather vest. Eli carrying the body of Rye over shoulder and back. There's blood, a sizable amount of it. Temerity and Oz also moving. Oz looks shaken. The floor is yours.
I rush outside.
Gonna huddle up to him, stomping through the mud, splashing up puddles, trying to get him into the house as quickly as I said. And,
yeah, find a location that's open, make it open, put the body down.
I'm gonna follow suit and with Torvin and go look for the closest table to get somebody's gonna need to clean it off. Swipe it off.
Oz will help move stuff.
Yeah, we'll just.
Do you move him into the kitchen? Are you going into like the foyer of sorts where? Describe
kitchen
what this
table
looks like.
now.
The kitchen's probably the cleanest.
Okay, sounds good. The sounds of the rain and wind begin to die out as the door is shut behind you. The weather never entirely dies off. It seems to hang about, this lurking shadow. As you push bowls and various things out of the way, clearing a spot specifically for Rye. There he lies, pale, shallow breath, unconscious, but still alive. You can see the bite marks, Torvin. You can see this semi-crudely made strap of cloth that's wrapped up around the neck, not quite like a tourniquet, but in a method to try to stop this bleeding. He has a vicious bite wound. Something akin to a pierce, not much of like a dog bite, but akin to such. And you can see similar bites on the thigh, and then what looks to be something has happened to his back. It's yours.
You think we can save him?
I'm scratching my head.
I tried to fix him up as best as I could, Torvin. I don't know if you can do anything else for him.
I calmly roll, heal, and then I start to clean and do what I can.
Okay. You got all kinds of luck rolls. I'm imagining at this point it looks like you guys are sort of like peeling the armor off of him, maybe even probably removing some of the clothing so you can get better access to the wounds. You're
Are
going
they
to
seeing my skin?
They're going to
Bride is
see,
not like that.
You're
Yeah,
gonna
we're
see,
going to see everything,
yeah, you're
baby.
going to see pretty much, yeah. You see the burns on the ankle. There are cuts across his body. It's not just like over the face. It's literally everywhere. If there was a descriptor of a rough and tumble life, Rye would be the picture of that lifestyle. He's seen the downside of up and the upside of down, and he is proof that some people are forged in fire.
Specifically forged in fire. The right side of my body is visibly burned. It'll burn, but it creeps from my right foot up my right side and then like up to shoulder. You can't really see it if I'm wearing the armor. It stays out of the collar area in my face, but it does span quite a far, pretty much the whole right side of my body.
Kendra comes to the steps. She seems to be carrying a load of books, and when she peers into the kitchen, she immediately rushes away. She's gone for probably 10, 15 seconds, and she arrives with a slew of clean cloths and what looks to be a very basic healing kit. There's some various tourniquets. There might be even the makings of some sort of like cleaning solvent, something to help at this point. And she looks to anyone to see if anybody here has a preference.
Oz has no idea how to use any of that stuff, so he's gonna cook because that's what he does when he's anxious.
She asks if you can boil water.
Oz definitely nods.
Okay.
That's like a second nature to me. And he goes and starts boiling some water.
Perfect.
Tripp's gonna go change his clothes. Like he removes that leather piece from him, and then he goes off to one of the rooms.
Sure. You probably make your way to like a servant's quarters, and
Yeah.
you will find something suitable. It's probably not very beautiful, but it's enough that it will serve its piece. Not for children either, likely for an adult, but you can roll it up easy enough. But together, the few of you manage to piece together what looks to be a situation here. I am going to allow anyone to take lead if anyone would like to roll assistance for this mending process. So if anyone feels comfortable enough leading that. Eli, with the heal. Okay. Did anyone want to lend aid? Torvin with a heal, that's good. Even lending it to each other. Anybody else can, if you can break 10 on a heal check, you can offer.
Try.
Sure.
I'm boiling water.
One.
It rolled and then it went to 1.
I mean,
Oz is a hot mess today.
Yeah, I was gonna say at this point, I'm not sure what else I would be able to do unless I'm kind of just chancing it to see if I can help out.
So maybe
That's what I did.
maybe my heal action is Oz. Why don't you come with me, and we can
I'm
do
just
something together? Will
Trying
you
to
help?
boil the water and
Can we boil the water together? That sounds like a nice bonding exercise.
Okay, Oz blushes a little and then follows her.
Eli.
Dump the boiling water on Rye.
Oh God. leading this heal confidently with the first, Torvin following up with aid, and Temerity assisting with a +4 courtesy of Torvin and Temerity. You broke 20. You're gonna take this time to patch his wounds, suture them down, clean them up, make sure that nothing is set in as far as you can tell. But it's very difficult, it's very challenging looking at his body because it's not necessarily that he's a bizarrely shaped man as much as his body's really kind of been through it. But the
I'm just
best,
gonna mutter,
Pre-broken.
my God, what happened to this man?
Yeah.
As I'm doing it,
Rye,
can't help but notice.
give me a perception check at a -10.
Sure.
Holy shit. Very good. Is that with a -10?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that is without the -10. So let's
Okay.
go ahead and call it a 2.
A 2. Okay. You're in and out of it. You can't really make heads or tails of what's happening. You do see some light. You probably wake up just enough to feel some boiled water. There's a cooling sensation over spots of your body. It definitely doesn't feel like you're back in the graveyard anymore.
I would probably mutter a name.
Okay.
And I need a second to find what that name is because
Yeah.
we have not played in a couple weeks. So you guys continue. I'll figure it out.
He's in and out of it. You can hear the like he's trying to speak. He's trying to mutter out something. It's gravelly at best. He always kind of never really enunciates, keeps it down.
Looking to Torvin, he'll ask, "Is your friend gonna make it?"
Maybe. Aye, of course he will. He's been through the worst.
Looks like he jumped in Torag's forge and right into the furnace.
Torvin, give me a bluff. Or a performance. Your call here. A bluff or performance?
Let's go for total bluff.
Bluff, okay. There is confidence when he speaks. He says, of course he will. He's been through much worse. You buy it, Tripp. You think that he's going to be fine. A little worse for wear now, but confidence.
Good.
Irea would be the name that he would be muttering if he was going in and out of consciousness.
Perceptions, please, from everyone. It's not going to be super hard.
He might even mention
19.
Enor or Irea, one of the two. Probably both, definitely. Irea.
Damn, 20. We are very perceptive.
Everybody is going to hear this.
Can't fight.
Under the mutterings, under this almost like jumble of sounds, something clearly cracks and breaks through. It's common. He mutters a name, a word, a passage. He says, Irea. Enor. And then he's back out again. What are you doing in the interim? It's not going to take forever to maintain his body. He'll be fine. He just needs rest.
Do I know that Tripp still has that dagger from the centipede?
I don't know, actually. What have you done with this dagger, Tripp?
Pocketed it. At this point, I mean, I would have probably made like a little makeshift holster for myself, just to hold on to it for now.
Sure.
And then I still have the gold coin.
I would, while looking over Rye, kind of just reach back, like in the direction of Tripp, and be like, "I paid the boy for that earlier. Like that's my dagger, because I don't trust him, and I don't want him to have it." And I would reach out, extending my hand, like, "Come on, like."
This is the first time,
up.
Tripp, that you've been this close now to Eli. Like, you saw him before from him standing over the top of you, but as he extends his arm out, you get a keen glance at another god's emblem. Torog. And then it strikes you. You've heard of Justicars, these fighting clerics that would bring out justice and end evil at its core. Infinitely more dangerous than regular clergy, just as powerfully strong as an inquisitor. A paladin.
As you put your hand out, you can see that he's taking the gold coin, and he's kind of brushing against his knuckles back and forth, and he's like looking down, but he looks back up at you and goes, "Please, just let me hold it on. Just let me hold on to it for now.
Eli, give me a sense motive.
It gives me peace of mind." And yeah, he's still taking the coin and kind of brushing against his knuckles.
It's just utter nervousness. It's the oh god, what is it called? It's placebo. He's using this dagger. It would have no chance. Like, lucky strike against the creature in the depths of that mausoleum, but here against any of you short of Rye, This is a placebo.
It doesn't matter to me. It's a point of principle, and it also logically doesn't make sense to me for him to keep it, because I don't think he's even alive. He's possessing the child's body, and even if he were to die, it would only be Pevrin would be dying, and he probably would just go back to being like a corporeal form.
Sure, of course.
So logically, it doesn't make sense for him to have a weapon. I don't expect for him to be following our group around and be getting into combat. So I don't think he needs it. Plus, I paid for it. So I'm going to insist that's my dagger. I paid for it. Like, give me my dagger.
Are you intimidating, or are you trying to like be diplomatic with this? What's your approach?
I'll try to talk it down from him. I'll know that I'll sense his nervousness. My main objective is just to get the dagger
To disarm him. Sure. Give me a diplomacy. Holy shit. Yeah, that's...
Yeah. I don't think you need that. I don't think you need that.
There's a confidence
That's not your body.
That Eli speaks. Says you're not going to need that. It's not your body. And he extends his hand again.
Or dagger.
He like nods reluctantly and he unties it, and he doesn't approach you at all. He like places it on the corner of the table and then like just steps back to where he was sitting. But as he looks up, he seems almost confused at the same time. Like he's still worried, but there's a sense of like you can see that he's visibly confused when he looks around the group. Might be a weird time to ask any of you, but none of you are from Harrowstone either, are you?
Not that I know of.
The glass that you have, can you saw me with it, right? And he's pointing to Oz when he says that.
Yeah. And I offer it to anybody else who wants to see.
Can you just take a quick look to see if there's anyone else here?
I put it up to my eye, and I look around. He's like kind of scared.
Give me a will save.
Will save?
Like that.
I don't like that. 6.
You've got multiple rerolls.
Okay, I'll reroll.
Okay.
I don't know if I can roll any better than that, though. We'll see.
Statistically, I think you might be able to. Even or odd in your favor?
Odd. Oz is always odd.
Okay.
He's an oddball. Oh.
Nice. Just got it.
Barely.
You resist the compulsion. You feel this slight pull. Almost as if it's inviting you to continue glancing through this. But you manage to resist it. You shake it off, and you feel... It feels strange at first. Do you glance through immediately, or do you pass it to another person?
I glance through.
And what are you looking at?
Look around.
So you're just looking around. Okay.
Yeah, he told me to look around to see if there's anybody else here.
Give me a perception.
Okay. 19.
It's very good. You begin to glance around the room, and as you're taking things in, see Kendra's sweaty brow as she seems to be working tirelessly, helping Eli and Torvin with Rye, wiping up the wounds, trying to cleanse things. Temerity assisting as much as she can, exchanging out cloths and water. Torvin appears to be just fine. He's working under the duress of this, which is a surprise, but Eli is shaken. When you look down at Pevrin, you can see the silhouette of the boy, but now you see a man. And you see fear. He's a sheepishly small individual. Tripp, describe yourself. What did you look like in life?
He was a half-elven man with very long golden hair. If he had any semblance of keeping, I guess, that style in death, it was in a ponytail parted off to the right side. Very fair in complexion, and it would be topaz colored eyes would be probably one of the more prominent features that he would express. The ears aren't as pointed given his half-elven nature, but they were pronounced enough that you would know. Even with like the jawline, that he's probably of some elven descent. It would be probably closer to wood elven, if anything else, given the coloration of how the eyes are.
His body is very frail. Not a mark of a warrior. Not like Rise, that has been weathered over time and blade. This is someone who was not very blue collar. Whatever they did in life, it's not much of a fighter. But as you continue to pan around, you take a few steps. You don't see anything, except for the last second. You pan. You're preparing to pull this down, and out of your peripheral, you glance back, and you can see in the front room, the window, as the overcasting clouds seem to pour down, not granting much in the way of vision, no light breaking through, but just enough to show the streets. There you can see what might look like a man, but a man on all fours. Not on his knees, but on his hands and on his feet. The back legs are buckled downward so that his body is horizontal, and he never quite breaks his glance away from the glass. Do you turn to look at him more?
Yeah, I think Oz is like first looking, and he sees Tripp, and he affirms that he looks like a wood elf, and then moves over, and then his eyes just get bigger, and then he's too curious to stop. He just keeps looking.
When you refocus this time, no longer in your peripheral, you notice that the figure is watching into the house, and you can't be for certain if they see you. But when you fix your eyes upon them, you wince your right one closed so you can see clearly through the glass. And the confirmation of them seeing you. They move to a standing position, a completely naked man. As he looks at you, he has this very brazen stance. His legs seem to be parted rather wide as he kind of moved up from this hound-like position. His hair is just kind of tousled in all directions, and something that seems incredibly odd to you. He looks in both ways. And then he does what looks like a gun, like a finger gun, and he points down, aiming at spots in the dirt. And then when he points to you, he lowers his thumb, and he pushes hair out of his face to the side. And he starts walking away. When you open your eye again, in his place, a large black dog with red eyes. A wolf. That's not Hap. Do you look back through to see this individual? Or do you...
Yeah, Oz like rubs his eyes and then puts it back up to make sure he's not losing his mind.
He seems to be gone, as is the hound, but something different this time. Where he pointed, something is in the road. You can't see from where you're at. Do you move up?
Y'all, I think I saw something. Pretty sure I see something. And he starts walking with the thing in his eye.
You move up to the
Maybe bumping
window?
into stuff as
Okay.
he's like trying to make his way.
Give me a new perception.
Okay. 13.
Okay, you move up to the window to see exactly what it is. And it looks to be some sort of ornamental headstone pieced together right in the center of the street. And as your eyes focus and affix on exactly what it is, you can see scrivened into the stone. It says Rye. It says his name, Rye. Here rests Rye. And in quotations, come to my world and be as I am now. Soon you will be. Embrace your end and witness me.
No thanks.
Oz reads it, or Oz says, like, reads the scripture on the rock, and then he's like, no, I don't like any of this.
What's wrong?
He read out what was on the stone. And then he says that.
Still glancing down at this, you say it out loud exactly what is on the stone. Oz, as you're focusing, trying to see if there's anything more, you kind of glance up and down the street. Something descends rapidly into the window. You hear the as the glass cracks. Something black smacked the window and has fallen just beneath it. It's completely perverted your vision. Everything is distorted, the cracks like spider webs.
Oh, look down.
There is a dead raven. Its head twisted and mottled. Crooned back, neck snapped when it struck the glass.
And then he turns around and looks at everybody and he's just like, y'all, if I was a religious one, I might say that shit's gone turned upside down.
So it seems I wasn't alone then.
When Oz says shit, I instantly snap. Like, that's not right. What? And I know that Oz has said everything out loud, right?
Yeah, he's describing what he's seeing.
Can I do you still have it in front of you?
Yeah, he's like looking at the raven.
May I? Because I'd like to take a look. If Oz wants to relinquish it, if not, I'm not gonna
Oz hands
press
it
the
over,
issue.
but as like we're both holding it, he goes, "I'd be careful though. There was something about it, like it was trying to get me to do something. Don't worry, I didn't do anything. I was, in control." He tries to act cool. Like,
What did it try to get you to do?
I don't know. I resisted it.
Can I detect magic on the planchette?
Yeah, you can. In the moment that your eyes flicker silver to try to detect anything in the arcane spectrum, there's no failure for this. This is such a regularly practiced ability. You can tell that this is a magical device. More so, it doesn't take a detect magic or knowledge of magic to realize that the craft and make of this would be incredibly rare and relatively expensive.
I don't think they like us looking at him.
I'm gonna look at him.
Do you think others came out of wherever he came from? Harrowstone?
Well, and he seemed rocking the coin in between on his knuckles again faster and faster. About that, when I was pushed out of Harrowstone, the one thing I was aware of is I wasn't doing that alone. Something latched onto me, almost like what I'm doing to him, but it was so forced. I was just pushed, but something either carried me or in a sense rode me out of Harrowstone. That's how I ended up here.
Well, I think we best ride y'all right back in.
I agree.
But if he can't get out of the boy, we need to ensure that happens first.
Well, I don't know how to do an exorcist. That ain't my kind of thing. Honestly, I didn't even believe that kind of stuff was real.
Torvin, Eli, you're listening to this. You know that she's moved over to collect this planchette. Rye seems to be fine for the time being. Are you guys doing anything specifically, or are you just sort of hearing it out?
I'm slowly rotating my head towards you going, I cannot leave you alone for 24 hours. What the hell's going on?
Well,
And he stands up and he kind of like rights himself and he does a small bow. Pleasure to meet you. The inmates and guards called me Tripp, so that's
you're not a wee lad.
Pevron is
no.
possessed or
Look at his eyes,
something by
Torvin.
this guy, and we went into the crypt and we found, well, some things, because we were looking for something, because he doesn't want to say what we're looking for out loud. And that's when we found that thing, and now I'm seeing stuff. And I hope we can fix Rye.
What kind of need would you have for a trinket like that? Is that something that the church would use, Temerity?
No.
To be able to hunt?
No. I'm saying that as I'm assuming no, correct? This isn't a tool of Pharasma.
No, this is not a tool of Pharasma.
No, absolutely not. This is not something that we would use in
What
any
would
situation.
I know. Is this like a knowledge arcana, maybe? Like something like that I would know about, like magic items of some sort?
that would be a great place to start.
Okay. 22 crit.
Holy shit. Okay,
Which
that's perfect.
I guess you don't really crit on
Yay.
skill checks.
Yeah. So it's not something that you've come upon before, but you've read about it. Your pursuit of knowledge has led you in many directions, and you may have just like filed it in a weird place mentally, but you can recall some things. Planchettes aren't limited to just this. They can be made of multiple types: brass, cold iron, silver. Each one, in turn, allows an increasingly potent form of divination that can be utilized. A spirit planchette requires a board to move, which you have a board. The board can be made up of letters scribed upon a smooth surface. It doesn't really need to be prepared for a spirit planchette to work. You know that the planchette requires living touch in order to activate and utilize. In this case, the planchette will act as your guide on the board if you're going to ask questions to the deceased. However, there are negative effects. You are, after all, attempting to speak with the dead. It doesn't mean they're all ready to speak back, and they're easy to agitate. After all, you both speak the same language, but you can't hear them. Could you imagine how charades would go with the dead? They would be so shitty at you guys for constantly yelling at them like, "We don't understand you," or what have you. But in this case, they linger and they wait and they hang on for forever. The negative side is what this can do to your psyche. It inspires hallucinations. It encourages mental cracks and fractures that can allow beings from other realms, even undead, to seep into your mind to assert control. Communication is a dangerous task, and spirits are jealous and hateful of the living. Anytime a spirit planchette is used, you know now you have to make a save to avoid temporarily being potentially possessed or harmed.
Wait. Eli, you grabbed the board, right?
Yeah, what of it? Did you remember something that you'd like to share?
I think that if we use the planchette with the board, we can maybe we could contact Professor Lortmore.
And he like sits up. Don't do that here, please. That thing, it's strong. It has a strong pull.
Our friend,
Look.
our new friend here isn't
Picture
wrong.
this. And he puts his finger up, and he does this,
I
and he
don't
walks
know if
over
I
to you,
want that.
and he pokes.
What
He
are you
pokes
gonna
his.
do to me? Don't
He just
do that.
he just puts his finger to his shoulder. When you were gazing upon me through that lens, it's almost like the exact same thing that you're doing to a spirit. That you're walking up to it and poking at it.
Well, it's poking at us, so I think it deserves some poking right back. Look,
You don't understand. It's how that thing works. It's to use that with that, and he points at the board. It's like you're ringing a dinner bell for
Look.
anybody.
Tripp isn't wrong.
The dead are only good for one thing, and that's for putting to rest.
There could be repercussions of the mental kind. So whoever wants to do the questioning should be of strong mind. But I don't agree, Tripp. I think we need some answers. This is our way to get them.
Rye.
Chat, shut up.
You've been lingering in this mostly unconscious state, gleaning bits here and there, never sure what is real and what is not. But before you, you feel as if your eyes seem to slowly flitter open. And you're not in the Lorimore home. You're not in the mausoleum. There are walls, a door, what you think could be a door that's made of bars. This isn't your first time being in a jail hold. You're familiar, this is a prison cell. What do you do,
And
Rye?
it looks, am I still on a table? Am I laying down? Am I standing
You're
up?
crouched in the corner.
Crouched. I just think to myself that, maybe I finally died. And this is whatever's next.
Right, you say that out loud, and you notice that your voice isn't yours. No longer that gruff sound, that almost smoky Rye that kind of rolls off of the tongue. This time it's something different. It's not even with the same dialect. You're a... Psst. Hey. Hey. Your voice calling you from the cracks in the bar at the door.
All right, I listen.
You there?
I look up.
You there?
Yeah, I look up and I sort of stand up, trying to see what's at the door.
Listen, tomorrow night, he's gonna do it. It's gonna happen. When the guards are on chain shift, we're gonna take this place. It'll finally be ours.
Oh. I ask him what I need to do. What's my role?
When a guard passes by, grab him by the nape. Hold on to him. Splat him and be moving. He'll be in place. We'll take this place in Hockrin. We'll get him and his bitch.
I nod at him. I said, I tell him I'm ready.
And as you say, I'm ready, things begin to move very, very quickly. Guards walking by slow at first and then faster and faster, almost as if everything is moving in fast forward for you. And you're not really sure when to jump in. But as it all begins to unfold, everything is moving so quick and you're just absorbing the information, but you can't quite get the finer details. But what you can feel is heat. You smell smoke.
God damn it.
And you
Rye
can hear-
immediately at this. Sorry, if you wanted to go.
Go for it. Give me a will save.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, this should be fun.
Rye. You awaken. And as you awaken and you sit up, you look at the room, and there is the boy who's introduced himself as Tripp, Temerity. Seems to be discussing with Oz something about this planchette. Torvin talking about how he can't be 24 hours without something going to hell. Eli just watching, taking notice, very ever vigilant. But then Rye, you look down to the table, and you see yourself.
This is like out of body. Like I'm like looking at myself. I just think to myself, yeah, I might definitely be dead. Like I'm looking around. I'm kind of absorbing this. I'm seeing me on the table all fucked up,
And you can see the wounds. They've taken very good care of what it is. However, what happens next startles you. As you're witnessing the wounds that have been very, very gingerly cared for, your body sits upright, snap. And the eyes open, similar to Peverin's at this point, white. They look over to you, and a grin crosses the face. This smug grin. And the hands come up, wiping at the brow, and then at the corner of their hair, pushing it out of the way. And he just nods at you. A voice breaks for each of you. Eli, Torvin, Temerity, Tripp, and Kendra. You hear, "It wasn't an accident." When you glance back, Rye is sitting upright on the table, his eyes white. He says it again. "It wasn't an accident." And his body falls limply to the ground, toppling off of the table with an audible thud.
Would I see him projected off to the side?
You would.
I would like turn over as I was talking to Oz, and then I'd be like, "Rye," and then like he like freezes in place, like just like he's not looking at Rye when he says it, the body, but he's looking like off to the side of the table when he says it, and then he like looks back and says and like goes, "Oh no."
I am all, oh my God, my stitches. And I try to help some more. Dear Lord, these humans.
You're right. Perfect.
I think Oz is just like, what? He's just boggled by what's happening.
What is Eli doing at this point?
He has no idea what the hell is going on, and he is sick of undead shit already. Like, he's gonna say, "I've had about enough of this shit." And I guess that's it. I'm pretty baffled. This is way out of my depth. I'm used to dealing with creatures and evil beings, but not so much apparitions and possession. I don't have much experience with it. So,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, he'll help try to assist Torvin reeling Rye's body back up on the table because he's a thick boy. So
Sure. Rye, when he points to you and he says Rye, and then Rye, you feel your pull, that almost essence of your soul being abjectly pulled to your body as whatever was there evicted itself. And when you feel this dwarven arm pull up underneath you, you awaken. You can see the floor, you can feel the cold of the wood, and you're awake.
Okay, so I just got to explain. Nothing is more terrifying to Rye than being stuck in a cell with a fire happening. As soon as I come to, especially after everything that's happened, I'm gonna struggle. I'm sorry. It's I feel like
No,
he would. He doesn't want to be touched. He doesn't want to be touched anyways. He feels vulnerable. Some crazy shit just happened. He's just waking up. He's alarmed. I would love to be calm, but I just don't feel like it's part of the...
I'd drop him.
Immediately,
In the background, Oz is just like, he doesn't like to be touched.
You can feel that pressure of his person, but his muscles start to jar almost erratically, and you catch an elbow in the chest. And if you don't get out of the way, it might go in infinitely worse places, so you immediately release and let go.
Have you ever seen like a rhino when it's shot with a tranquilizer? How like in the last seconds is like, oh, like it tries like that last like strength,
Yep.
He's just like pure adrenaline right now. He's just like, he's hurt, but he's just like not okay.
Yeah, I'm just watching.
Yeah.
When you're finished, son, when you're finished.
When Torvin drops him, I'll do the same, but then I want to try to bring my foot down on his chest to kind of restrain him. Can I do that?
I mean, you can try.
No.
You can try. Go ahead and give me a CMB versus his CMD.
Yes.
CMD.
So it's going to be your combat maneuver bonus.
The 1v1 we all want.
and you have to beat his defense.
Not letting me click it. CMD, right?
B as in boy. B as in boy.
CMB is under your will.
Yep.
Bubs, would I recognize the mannerism that guy expressed?
You didn't see it.
Oh, I didn't? Okay.
You didn't see that. Rye, does that beat your defense?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Because you're not fully coherent, you're just starting to kind of panic flail. He's able to sort of like drop down and put a foot to you, not in a manner that's going to harm you, but in a way that's going to prevent you from like flailing outward.
Yeah.
And,
I would
when
imagine that
happens-
after. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, when that happens, when I'm able to do that, I'm gonna yell down at him because I'm not even sure that it's him.
Sure.
At this point, it could be
Right.
someone else. I'm gonna be like, "What's your fake name? What's your fake name?" To kind of like ask a question that maybe only he would know.
Rye, give me a will save. It's not going to be super
Sure.
hard, but it's just a matter of you like regaining your composure.
That's fine. Oh, sorry, will. That was wisdom. My bad. Wow, and of course I throw the 18 for that one. Oh,
That's
okay,
fine.
I'll take-
That's perfectly fine. You take a few strong gasping breaths, and then you hear Eli's voice break. What's your fake name? What is your fake name? He asks you something that only you could know.
I respond at first with, I say, Jax. My fake name is Jax, is what I say at first, and then I go, Malcolm.
All right, at the sound of the actual correct answer, even though he's obviously confused. I'll step off because he's clearly expressed not liking being touched,
Right.
and I'm not trying to agitate the situation, and he's clearly very wounded.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
Any
like
of
now
y'all
just
know
kind of.
what's going on? Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I'm just kind of now assessing I'm starting to like feel my body. I'm like coming to. I'm in a lot of pain. It hurts. I'm kind of laying there. I'm kind of like taking a deep breath. I'm still like looking around, and all I kind of say is, what the fuck happened?
That's what I want to know. Do any of you know what's going on?
I don't
Do
want
I
to talk
still have
about
the
it.
planchet?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna lift it up and look at Rye.
Will save.
Temerity dies instantly. I'm just kidding. That would suck.
Very good.
Damn.
Not
You,
with my rolls
He's-
tonight. Maybe next week I might, but not apparently tonight.
You more than exceed what is necessary for this. You're just fine.
Okay.
You peer through the planchet, and there is no person around him. There is no lurking figure as far as you can tell, but there is something. Something that doesn't immediately send shivers to the spine, but you see what looks like fingerprints on his temple and on his upper cheek, just at the corner of his eye, on both sides, where something was holding onto his face. And when you remove the planchet, it's not there. You can only see it with this.
I've got a massive headache. I'm kind of like feeling my head right now. I'm just like I'm still on the floor, right?
Yes.
When he
Okay,
does that, do the fingerprints move at all?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm gonna attempt to stand up. I'm gonna like grab the thing and like try to.
Sure. Give me a strength. It's not going to be hard.
All right. Man, I keep losing this. There we go.
Very good. You managed to muster yourself to a standing position. You feel a little weaker in the knees than not. You did lose a lot of blood. Kendra will rapidly move up and offer you a blanket. She's got one. It's still probably rolled up at this point.
Yeah, I take it and I like try to set myself down on the couch about as easy as I could where I was sleeping, that leather couch.
Sure.
I'm just gonna
if you
lean
let
down.
Or
her,
in the kitchen. That was in the study, I think.
if you let her, she's gonna kind of like go up under your arm to sort of help move you in there.
I'll like eye her for a second, like I'm like kind of got on her, and then like I look like I sort of deflate, like I'm like, oh god damn it, I'm in a lot of pain right now.
Yeah.
like I kind of can't afford to be too,
She
I'm
throws
proud,
her shoulder under your arm, and she starts hobbling under your weight to move you to that couch. And as she gets you there, she quickly moves over and she starts tearing some wood into tinder, and so that she can keep the fire stoked.
What a sweet girl. Oh, okay. Thank you. That's very nice of her.
Don't pop any stitches. We worked hard on those.
Eli calls from the other room. Does everybody move in with him, or
Yeah,
stay in
he's
the
the only
kitchen?
reason I was even in the kitchen.
Okay.
And I want answers from what the hell just happened.
Everybody moves into the study then.
Yeah.
so
Tripp would probably be last one. Like if he saw his soul get pushed back in or get drawn in, I mean, I guess he would kind of have an inkling that he was possessed then, right? He had to have been.
Something akin to that, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not coy about it. I come out with it. Like once I'm on like the leather, couch, and I've got this blanket around me. I'm like dropping into my pain, like I'm kind of just like stoic right now. And I sort of tell them what I saw, that I was above myself and that I feel like I had no control and that I was teetering between the lines of, life and death.
He's recanting this experience, giving you the details.
It's kind of like when someone tries to tell you about their dream, they're not exactly accurate. It's what they can remember, and it sounds a little absurd, but he tells it with conviction.
What did the cell look like?
All I could really see was the bars. Somebody was whispering to me. Do I recall anything like the guards were wearing or any indication that this was not?
Everything started moving so fast. You couldn't quite pick up those details.
Do I have any idea if this looked like a prison I had been in before, some new prison, or do I not know? It's a prison.
Some of the holds that you had been in previously were wooden. This was thick stone and steel bars.
Okay.
This was a serious prison cell. This isn't like, he was drunk, let's let him sober up and dry out for the night. No, this is a criminal. A criminal belongs here.
Okay. I tell him, I've spent time in a cell. Well, a couple of cells. It wasn't anything like I've ever been in.
That sounds a lot like Harrowstone. That sounds like where I'm from. That sounds familiar.
I look up at him at this with a kind of inquisitive look, kind of squint my eyes. Were you there for the fire?
Fire. I think, I would have to have been, right?
I saw smoke. I smelled fire.
Do you remember how you died, Tripp?
Everyone, Zokar is outside. I have moved to the window.
Oh,
Zokar is
shit.
outside. And I'll turn to look at Pevrin. His eyes are still white, right?
Mm-hmm. More than that, he has some blood on him. Not all of it, but just spots where it's either like stained the clothes or it just wasn't quite precipitated away. You hear it. Hello? Kendra, is anyone there? Hello? Right, you can hear the baritone voice of Zokar.
Yeah,
I'll go handle it.
We've got to tell him.
Well, I'll turn to Tripp. Try again.
Oz will go to the door.
Get out.
Hold on. What was his name again?
Pevrin.
Pevrin. Hey. We have to switch places for now. If you can wake up, try. Fight against me or something.
Tripp, give me a will save.
A will save, right? If I can feel him taking over, can I just let it willingly happen, or?
Let's see what you do here.
I'll reroll that.
Okay. Oz, you answer the door. Do you put yourself out forcefully? Like, do you kind of like crack it and then squeeze your body out, or do you let him in? What does this look like?
He's definitely trying to be sly about it, coming out and not really letting him in.
Sure. Tripp, you are unsuccessful. Despite the light taps on the face, the willing it to be, you're closer to minor defecation than you are actually relieving your ghost from the body.
How many more rerolls I got?
Well, there were 5. You used, what, 1 so far? So 2, and I think you've got 3 left.
I'll take the 15.
15's an even or an odd.
Odd.
You got it. Successfully.
That's a good thing.
You manage to just unseat yourself enough. It's like letting something fall from your hands.
Mm-hmm.
A shoe falling from your foot that was loosened from a hard day's work. As you slip away and trip. As you vacate the body of Peverin. Your vision seeps back to that. You don't go into the rest of the living world. What your eyes immediately train upon is those dark stone cell walls. The steel bars. And the anguished cries and screams of the other apparitions and ghosts that crawl Harrowstone waiting for freedom. Oz. Zilkar stands. He's clutching what looks to be a hat.
Well,
Excuse me, I'm looking for my boy, and I hadn't seen him. He said he'd be passing by, in the hopes that you might have.
well, we did see him. He came by and one of us gave him a coin and he went off.
Well, why'd you give him money?
Well, I don't think you're gonna like the answer, but it had to do with knife throwing.
Knife throwing? What? Where?
Yeah, there was knife throwing happening. It wasn't like a dangerous thing, though. You know when you're practicing.
No,
We cut
no.
it off, though, in order to get him to stop. Give him a coin.
What's he doing with a knife?
Well, he stole it from Rye at one point, but then
Hey,
Eli got it from him,
stole?
snatched it right from him.
What? Not my boy. Pavrin wouldn't do that. He's
Well,
taught better.
I didn't think he would either.
Is
but he
Kendra?
did.
Kendra!
No,
Kendra!
she's been sleeping. Let her sleep. She's been having a rough time. We've been trying to move the stuff around for her in the house.
Oh. If you see him, tell him to come home. I'm afraid what's happened. I've got my...
What?
I have a
Why are you
feeling
afraid?
in
What would make you afraid?
the pit of my stomach. You ever trust your gut? That's what's happening to me right now.
Oh, I always trust my gut. And
It's
he like
telling me something's
wiggles
wrong.
his belly.
I'm worried. If you see him, tell him that his dad's looking for him.
All right.
He gives you like a very shallow nod and kind of like tries to get a peek through the window, but sees that it's cracked. And then he sees the dead raven.
Did the knife throwing happen at the bird?
No. Bird kind of ran into the window.
Oh,
Has that happened any time recently for you? Birds running into windows?
well, not that I can think of, no.
Well, I hope it's not a thing that happens often. I'd hate to see my pecker happen. To run into a window like that.
His confusion is palpable at this point.
What?
Oh, he's like, oh, and turns his bucket over and he he looks inside and he sees like a chicken.
That's a big rooster.
Yep. I feed him well.
I wish I could stay and talk more, but I have to find my boy.
If I see him, I'll let you know.
We can't hear this exchange, right?
And if you're at the door, it's likely yes.
Well, we're not. I'm not at the door, so far away. Okay, just want to make sure.
Temerity in front of you. Peverin's eyes come back. The color returns. His skin seems to cherry flourish again. This bizarre blush happens over his body. And he looks around.
Why am I here?
What happened? Where were you? You're okay. You're safe.
The last thing you remember.
I'll make room too so that like others can probably overwhelm him, but like
I don't know. I remember.
He looks down.
I remember the gold, and I remember you grabbing me by the neck. I'm sorry, I didn't take the knife again.
And he glances down.
Why are my hands cut? Where's my clothes? What happened to me?
It's going to be all right. Just stay calm. We're going to figure this out together.
Who's Tripp?
How do you remember that name?
I don't know. I heard her voice.
what was the voice? What did the voice say?
He said his name was Tripp. And that he told me to come back. I didn't know where I was. Where's my dad?
I think he's outside.
He stands.
Well, hold on a second.
And he bolts for the door. He books it. Just as you say, hold on a second. It's just like you're talking full child speed. You can attempt to cut him off.
Trip him.
I
Do
have
like
no
old
problem
school
with it.
kid trip where you just put your foot out.
I wanted to tell his dad. I'm assuming that Oz is bringing him in, but because I don't know how the conversation's going. Because I'm willing to tell Zokar everything and just come clean with him.
Difference between totally different alignment characters.
He hits the door. Oz. There is an abrupt turn, and the door swings wide. Peverin's immediately there, and Zokar is probably about 7 or 8 steps away.
Peverin?
When you turn, you
Because I
hear...
see that his eyes are not white anymore, right? Or
Yes. As you say
I
Peverin,
shout that.
Zokar immediately turns, like full on father alert, and his eyes hone in where your voice is. And Peverin ducks your arm and skirts out, wearing what looks to be a leather vest from a horse's bridle with some blood on his person.
Oh no,
dipping
he
out of the
took
Lormer
that
residence.
off. Remember, he changed. He
Oh,
doesn't
that's
have it
right.
on
That's right.
anymore.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
It's just like a really like heavy, like probably like white shirt, like whatever they had for that time. Forgot what they're called. There's a name for it.
Tunic.
yeah, a tunic.
There you go. Yeah.
Tabard tunic.
And he starts to basically run in the direction of where the laughing demon is. But you hear a
Peverin?
and that's the father sound. You know, when a child hears of their father for that time, he immediately just stops and glances around, and then he sees his dad. And it's just like that reconnection moment where he hits him with speed. And Zokar's eyes train on you, Oz. And if ever...
Oz looks just in shock as much as Zokar is.
I will follow if I can.
If
Not as
ever.
quickly, not like hastily, because I don't think there's going to be a problem. He's probably, found his dad outside.
Ever there was anger that could paint a jovial figure. Zokar pulls the boy up to his hip, like a little kid. More so, as an 11-year-old boy, it's an uncommon thing, but an afraid father is willing to do just about anything. He grabs his son, lifts him off the ground.
I'm gonna get Sheriff Kaler. Don't you move.
And he starts walking in the direction of the center of
like
town.
Pointing at himself and like looking around, like, does he not want me to move?
Well, I mean, look at the situation. You didn't say Pevrin was there, and then Pevrin ran out in adult woman's clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it's like, yeah, like that's a normal
Yeah.
D&D thing. It's like, yeah,
Okay.
Hit him
that
with magic
reaction
missiles,
was
doesn't
bad.
miss.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Oz also was in shock that he was back to normal too.
And this is actually where we're going to call tonight's session. With that hang up right there. So we're going to start off next session with some explanation
Combat.
necessary.
Start up with some combat again. Yeah, okay.
Try won't let me take that one, Oz. Oh no.
It's going to be a
So
good...
much for the publican.
It's well, I mean, it's not there. You still have the opportunity at discussing things, but you're going to need to provide... You're going to need to provide some proof of the experience.
I think it's what Oz would have done.
Oh no, I think
His
that's
way
great.
is to bluff his
yeah.
way through shit.
Well, folks, I know that Ella's going to have to go in just a moment, so let's go ahead and get our carryouts here so we can shout out each other in accordance. We will start with Cobalt. My man, tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you, buddy?
CobaltStreak, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Been playing Bravely Default 2, some RPG stuff. Gearing up for Isaac as well, since the new expansion's coming out the 31st, and I'm live almost every single day at 5 p.m. Central on my channel.
Dope.
And I'm here on Tuesdays.
Happy to have you, man. We have Imperial. Tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
Hey, twitch.tv/Imperial or everywhere else Imperial Girl, because that just go with it. I'm working on sewing right now. I'm sewing a bag. I'm playing probably Rust. I got sucked back down the Stardew hole, so that's a thing. Yeah, that's basically it.
Perfect.
Just Stardew for days.
I kind of feel that. We have Torvin. It's played by Wyld. Tell us about you, boss.
Yep, I'm Wyld here on Twitch, on Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere. I am finally streaming again because my PC is now repaired. I play way too much Valheim at the moment. Way too much Valheim. Normally I do Minecraft.
It's perfect. I don't think anybody's mad at you for that. Maggie, you're up. Tell us about you.
Hey, I'm MargaretKrohn. You can find me at MargaretKrohn in all of the places. I always let you know whenever I'm live. I do lots of things on lots of channels. If you like tabletop RPG stuff, I do a lot of it, so stay tuned for all of that jazz. And I also make video games for a living, so if you'd like to check out the game that I'm currently working on, it is called Ashes of Creation, and you can find it at Ashes of Creation in all of the places. Sorry, I'm tired.
Amazing. Perfect. Hello, my man. Tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
Yep. Hey guys, I'm Ellohime. I do variety streaming. I don't kill dogs in my free time. This is just a character that I play, despite how some of you may feel. I'm live I'm live every 24 hours at some point during the day. So best is to just join our Discord and keep up with me that way. But yeah, I'm gonna go live here in like a couple of minutes as soon as we're done here. If you want to join and see what's up. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Probably some EFT. I'm pretty sleep deprived at the moment, so that's the kind of game you want to play when you're sleep deprived. Yeah, I just want to say thanks to Bub again for doing this this episode and preparing for us. And I'll throw it over to you.
Perfect. We've got Ronald. Tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you, my man?
Hi everyone, this is XanderDarks, aspiring streamer, also tabletop role player, as you guys saw here tonight, covering for some of the games for the Tuesday game, and a main player on the Wednesday game for Bub's game, Shackled City. So you guys will see me there. I stream Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 10:30 to whenever, I'm here.
Pacific, 10:30
yeah.
Pacific.
Specific time, yeah.
Yeah, specific time, that's right.
Yeah.
And that leaves me, guys. I'm Bub. You found me here already. You have a good idea about what I do. I sing, I tell stories, I play video games. Huzzah. If you like those things, then follow. But if not for anything else.
Singing?
Yeah, I was doing that actually before today. I started
Yeah,
to call
I had
late.
no idea. I had no idea he sings. I jumped in
What?
early and he was just like going nuts. It was great.
All right, well, I gotta watch that.
I do from time to time, only when there's good music. I gotta like really vibe it. But if you haven't followed me, that's okay. Just make sure you go follow all the rest of these amazing people. They deserve all of your love and support. They give me their Tuesdays right now, which is far more than I can ask from most, and they seem to be pretty happy about it. So thank you guys for everything. Before next Tuesday, let's try to see if we can hit our next Harrow card. Harrow cards will change the state of the game permanently, and they are long lasting. Additionally, thank you guys for all the subs tonight. You got 50, which means that you unlocked all the lucky rolls, and y'all are dope. It saved them many an occasion here, and challenge. Well, I'm sure they're grateful. If they're not, at least I am. So thank you guys for everything. Love your face. Do what you do. Stay safe, stay nerdy, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.
See ya.